Welcome to the Lost Lowdown podcast number 31 with your hosts, Claude and Justin.
What's up, guys?
How's it going? We're talking about episode 319, The Brig.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we were all very much captured by this imprisoning episode.
Imprisoning?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. This is what happens when you don't plan ahead too much for your podcast. You just end up saying things like that.
How about arresting?
Arresting, pretty good. Bag over the head making.
There's that, yeah.
Or tell you it's been, but it's really lock tricking you into going to the Black Rock being.
To kill the real Sawyer being, yeah.
Yeah. All that and more in the
right.
Brig.
Right.
I'm surprised we didn't call Enter 77 a very button pressing episode. Or
yes.
very pressing.
Pressing.
I'm sure. What is it? Man Behind the Curtain. I'm sure that'll be very, very revealing.
Yes. Very unveiling.
And very, very drapery, if I could say so myself.
Very drapery, of course.
Yeah.
And very, never mind.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to try to do something with man and stuff. Never mind. I couldn't think of an adjective for man, and it just ruined everything.
Yeah, there isn't one.
Human-y. I don't know.
Human-y, masculine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I ran out.
So, this episode was pretty good. I very much enjoyed it for the most part, but it's a strange episode because I don't have a lot of notes about it. There weren't that many big questions, but yet it was still pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those episodes that it's in a weird category. Like, it's not a filler episode.
It's not filler.
Like, stuff definitely happens, but the feel of it to me was more transitional.
Mm-hmm.
And that it didn't really. I mean, I guess like it's kind of a character episode too.
Yeah.
It's very Sawyer and Locke focused, and
Locke, please.
And so it's not like, I guess I was expecting a lot of mystery development, and there wasn't really a lot of that.
No.
It was but it wasn't a filler episode. So I think part of the reason I didn't have that much as far as notes is that it just isn't like they didn't really give us that much.
Yeah.
In the episode, like this whole thing of Locke's dad being the real Sawyer. I mean, we've known about that for a long time.
Yeah, that was not a big revelation.
No, not at all. I mean, some of the details concerning, how this is all resolved, there's some interesting things that come out, but I guess I was surprised by how little this episode really gave as far as mysteries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of got away. I think in the end, it got away with, like, having the others go off mysteriously again.
Yeah, it was very strange to have them go somewhere else.
It was like, here's what they were doing. Oh, that's all? But they're going to go off again, and now they're really going to do something.
Yeah, now they're really going to do something, exactly.
It almost seemed like cheating, because we didn't, to just, like, throw them out again. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they weren't ready for us to really see, I guess in the guise of what Ben is trying to do, he's sort of testing Locke to see if he's ready. And I guess, he didn't want to show Locke the real special place yet. So that's why he go there first. There's a lot of little things to talk about, in terms of why, what this place is about and all that stuff. And we can talk about, when is the last time that they were actually at this place?
Yeah.
Which was pretty much just sort of an open field area, but it had the sort of obelisk and sort of, what would you call it, altar kind of thing, or sacrificial, like, platform, I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird. So my first big question is, I guess let's talk about how Anthony Cooper or Tom Sawyer or whatever name he wants to go by.
Yeah, I guess we don't even know his real name.
We don't know his real name, which was interesting.
Like, in the end, Anthony Cooper's just another alias.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird.
I wonder if his real name is Jacob Jacobson. We'll never know.
It.
Yeah. Probably not, since he's dead now.
It's a weird name. If your last name's Jacobson, parents out there, don't name your kid Jacob.
Yeah, I've met people who have those names like that though, like Richard Richardson or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it happens. I think parents think it's cute, and then they eventually have to pay for the years of therapy that their kids eventually need.
Yikes! And then it seems like if Richard Richardson has a kid, it could be like Richard Richardson. It could be like Richard Richardson. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, at that point, it's beyond reprehensible.
Yeah. Indeed.
So I guess the first big question about Cooper / Sawyer. I guess I don't want to call him Sawyer because there's another Sawyer on the island.
I know.
The real Sawyer. Let's just call him Cooper.
That was my problem. In my notes, I started calling him Sawyer, and not the real Sawyer, the Sawyer we know, James.
Yeah.
Just to distinguish them, because I wanted to call him the real Sawyer to emphasize that, because that was the whole thing. But yeah. Anyway, what were we gonna call him?
Cooper.
Cooper. Yeah. Good.
Anthony Cooper.
Yeah.
We'll just go by the name that we first that they were first introduced as.
Yeah.
So
And that's what we've known him as, for a long time.
Yeah. So basically, Ben tells Locke that he's the one who's responsible for bringing Cooper to the island.
Mm-hmm.
Via the metaphorical box. So what do you think about that?
What do I think about that? Well,
or maybe the question should be, when did you realize Ben was lying?
That's the colon and then the
how I learned to stop. What is it? How I learned to something and something.
Dr. Strangelove, or how I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb. Yeah.
There we go.
Right, Stanley Kubrick classic. We all love it. When I realized it when Cooper told the story of what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I came up with my theory of what happened to him, which is a very standard, boring, pragmatic theory of mine.
Which I think we probably share the same theory. Because, when I heard Cooper's theory, the first time I heard it, I was like, I still thought there was some crazy explanation on how he got there. Then when I listened to it again, I was like, oh, okay, I see what happened now. What's your theory on how I got there?
So my theory is basically that somehow the others, in the same way they engineered the bus that hit Juliet's ex-husband, somehow, I think it was because of Locke that they brought him there. In that sense, maybe he brought him there, but they engineered this accident and then had these fake paramedics kind of take him away and whisk him off to the island, a la Juliet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's...
what got me was when Cooper said the paramedic smiled at him, and then gave him the IV and he passed, basically was unconscious. I don't know if that paramedic is maybe Alpert or Ethan, maybe, or if it's any one of the major others or not. Here's a question. Yeah, so like I said, I think we're in agreement on that. On how he got there, because it's plausible, and because they've done stuff like that before.
Right. It's not concrete. It's still kind of ambiguous, and there's that one line thrown in there to make you say, but, it is reasonable, I think.
Well, the line I don't like is when he says, everything was black, and then when I opened my eyes, I saw the sun. I pushed out the window, which seems a little bit, a little false on how the event should have occurred. Presumably he should have. I guess he may have woken up and he was already, handcuffed and tied to the chair. Well, I guess maybe that could have worked. I was thinking he would have seen Tom or somebody first, but I guess maybe when he woke up, that's when he saw Locke when he first woke up. So I guess I could buy that. Okay, I take it back. I'll buy that line.
Okay, that was easy. I don't even remember that line.
Yeah, it was because that's what made me think like he just sort of like appeared there or something weird like that. My original idea that he just sort of like pop poof. There's Anthony Cooper, because he said everything was black, and then next thing he knows, he sees Locke. But here's my question: when do you think he got there? Like when Ben says, "Bring me the man from Tallahassee," was he already on the island, or was?
Oh God, they couldn't have got him that quick.
Well, I don't know.
No way.
I don't know.
No way, unless there's some crazy shit going on.
Well, because was it like later that night or the next day at least when he showed Locke Cooper? So
it was fast.
It is definitely fast.
They got to track that guy down and engineer this thing and like whisk him. Like man, if they really.
But that's the thing. Like now depending on your answer to this, that's going to make me question that my other line I had already put to bed is. If he didn't just get there, then how is Locke the first person he saw?
Now, where is this line? I gotta see it. Can you? What does he say?
He says, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey." No, wait, sorry. I don't know why I said that. Everyone likes Joe tunes, right? Even Anthony Cooper. He says, it's right here. He says, one of them actually smiles at me as he pops the IV in my arm, and then nothing, just black. The next thing I know, I wake up in a dark room, tied up, gag my mouth, and when the door opens, I'm looking at the same man I threw out of a window, John Locke, my dead son. Chuckles. So I guess maybe the idea is that no matter when he got there, he has just been in that room the whole time. So it couldn't have been too long, or else he would have been, starved to death. So I don't think it could have been more than a day or two. Right, silence?
Maybe they kept him if they shot him up with some kind of sedative like they did with Juliet, maybe they kept him on it for a while.
Mhm.
And so he didn't wake up until he was in that room.
Okay. And you think they just fed him intravenously or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to buy that, but it's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
I just don't want to believe they did it that fast. But then again, the whole thing with Ethan and some of the stuff he pulled off, and the whole idea of engineering this crash anyway, and the bus thing too, that stuff's pretty crazy, So okay, maybe they did bring him there that quickly.
Even the bus thing was fairly quickly too, right? When she said, I think it was the next day or something, I believe.
It was, although it's not just that's the holdup; it's the travel. They gotta
of course.
And the matter of tracking him down too.
Yeah, I feel like they have probably been keeping tabs on where he was, so that part wouldn't take too much time because they probably knew at some point they might need to get him or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering something. I forgot what it was though. I lost my point. Oh, I was gonna say I don't think it would have necessarily taken that much time though. Well, it just sort of depends on if they have people there already ready to get him, or if Alfred or have to go. Why did I say Ethan? Ethan's dead.
Yeah, I thought you were saying Ethan because maybe they got him a long time ago.
No, I was saying Ethan because I like Ethan.
Oh.
And he's done stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh, that's it. Okay. That was my other point. Why would he say "Bring me the man from Tallahassee" if Cooper was already locked up in a little closet there? That line doesn't really make any sense.
Well, he could have been brought in there.
Oh, just like brought in there?
Yeah.
Like bring him to me, but don't bring him to me so much as put him in the room somewhere.
No, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they didn't. Who knows what went on behind the scenes? And maybe his line is just like dramatic and not really realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, I'm looking at my dead son. But before that, there was a lot of stuff. I was in this other room, and then this other guy came, and he leaves out all the other.
I just don't think Cooper would lie.
I don't think it's lying so much as like.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Oh.
Because Cooper would definitely lie. He's a con man.
Yeah, that's pretty. But I wouldn't even look at it as a lie if he left that stuff out.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I see.
Because it's just dramatically it works for him to say that. So yeah, there's all sorts of I don't know what to think. But I guess I don't like. What I'm trying to say about the thing is like how it depends on how they're getting to the island. If they're really traveling there in a submarine only, I mean that should take a long time.
I mean the submarine probably has warp drive.
Oh, well. Never mind.
Yeah, please.
I forgot that the submarine had warp drive.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a quick one. Now, the other thing that's weird is if they picked them up in Tallahassee, the reasonable place to get in a submarine would be on the, over there on the east side, not in the Pacific.
Oh yeah.
And in that case, they'd have to go all the way around South America. I guess with warp drive, they could pull that off. But
can they go through the Panama Canal?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Can submarines go through the Panama Canal?
I don't know. And even if they could, do they have access to go through there? I mean, they could go all the way east and go that way.
Oh, go do the They could
go
do
around
that.
Africa and like.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe they didn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they flew in a plane to a place where the sub is. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to believe that this sub like is really traveling that far. That's a long way for a sub to go. And then like obviously, the United States and all the countries in the area have their own like naval programs and security systems and stuff, and they're going to see like presumably they would see a submarine like in their territory and what's going on, and I wouldn't want the sub to be traveling all the time really, really far distances.
Yeah.
I feel like the sub would be like you get pretty close by plane or something or by a ship, and then you hop in the sub and you go the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's what I always imagined happened to Juliet, that she got on some kind of plane and they took her to another location and then they put her on the submarine and then they went to the island. Yeah,
so I could imagine like they got Cooper in Tallahassee and then flew to like South America or Sydney or something, and then hopped in the sub, and then so it wouldn't have taken too long.
Now maybe they have like a private plane or something. I mean, I don't think they could get them on a commercial airline.
No stewardess, no beverages for this gentleman here. He would like a pillow though, please. And what's the in-flight movie?
It's like Weekend at Bernie's.
It is like Weekend at Bernie's. This is my Uncle Coop.
Mm-hmm.
Had a little too much sauce this weekend. Cinco de Mayo and all. Oh, this is not Cinco de Mayo in the show, huh?
Not in the show, but hey.
But hey, why not? Just
you're keeping it current, keeping it local. That's
exactly.
Always good.
Topical.
Topical. Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe Carlton and Damon. I haven't listened to the latest podcast, but maybe they'll answer that question soon. Like how long he's supposedly have been on the island.
Yeah, I did listen to it, and they didn't answer that question.
Did they talk about Cooper at all?
They talked about the episode, but they really didn't get into it very much.
Okay.
They only sort of addressed the like Cooper is the real Sawyer situation. The way the podcast works, though, I think they record it, in advance of when the episode airs. And what usually seems to happen is that the questions they get are from like a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
So, maybe before the end of the podcasting thing, someone will ask him about it. Maybe they'll get to it at some point.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
But they didn't, not yet. So
well, I don't want to believe he's been on there for a long time. I mean, Ben was so preoccupied, the beginning of the season with everything, and then the whole surgery thing, and keeping him on how long do you think he's been there? And let me tell you why that's probably not right. Because I'm just thinking it couldn't have been too many weeks or anything, because keeping him fed intravenously and stuff like that, they would need to done physical therapy on him so he could walk and stuff and all this stuff.
The island's healing properties.
The island's healing properties?
Yeah.
Does that count for bed sores?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that, bastard.
I always thought that about Locke. I always thought he shouldn't have been able to just get up and walk all of a sudden. He should have had serious muscle atrophy problems.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I would. My guess with absolutely no reason to say this would be a few days.
A few days?
Yeah.
Okay. I could buy a few days. Any more than that, I wouldn't want to buy.
Okay. Well, good. That's what I'm selling.
Okay, I'll buy that. How much?
$2.
$2? No, thank you.
Oh.
It's a little much.
Thought it was a deal.
No.
Oh.
No. Come back when it's half off.
Okay. Should have said $4, and then oh well.
Yeah, then I would have. Yeah, you should have told me 4. I would have bought it for 2, and then you would have got your money.
Damn it.
Is this your first time selling things, sir?
I clearly have no business sense.
Clearly. You should just go ahead and give me your bank account number.
I should just say it right now.
Please. Okay, so we talked about how Cooper got to the island, how long he's potentially been there.
Yeah.
So when Ben says, you brought him here, is he being metaphorical or is he just flat out lying? Like maybe you brought him here because he's the person you need to kill or whatever to get over yourself.
Mm-hmm. He's there because of Locke in a sense, but I think he's doing a combination of both. I think he's trying to convince Locke that he really did bring him there, in some kind of magical way, but he also sort of means the metaphorical thing too. So yeah, I think he's half lying.
I love it. What is this? You tell me you brought him here. It's like Ben's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he's here. You did it.
Mhm.
God, he's just lying.
Why don't you tell me?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
And they had me believe in him. And actually, this first scene, where we see basically the ending of the ending of The Man from Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see the resolution of that scene. And when Locke approaches Cooper, he sort of freaks out, and there's that line of "Don't get close to him" or something.
Yeah.
And then he takes off his gag in his mouth, and he bites him.
I don't know why he bit him.
And I don't either. But I want to say two things about that. The first thing is that when I first saw that scene, I thought, oh wow, he it was kind of what I was thinking about, the box, manifesting people. Maybe it just manifested sort of an image of him, and so this thing will have no personality.
Yeah.
It'll just be sort of a snarling completely
it's sort of like Locke's interpretation of his dad.
Yeah.
It's evil menacing thing, and
yeah.
So don't get close to it because it's not sort of rational or something.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh man, this will be crazy. It'll play out like I thought it might, where he'll just be like a just sort of a mindless evil zombie kind of thing that just kind of looks like his dad. Because, like, how much of him can you pull out of Locke's head, you know?
Yeah.
So,
only the bad parts.
Yeah. So that's what I thought at first. But my second thought about it is it gives us continuity with Left Behind. When he goes to talk to Kate, he has a bandage on his hand. And I noticed that. I remember noticing that. And so this explains how that happened.
It just, to me, kind of seemed pointless, though, for him to bite him. I guess maybe gave him a reason to sort of leave because he was, you know, obviously sort of aggressive, so he didn't want to, like, kind of sit there and talk to him because he's being that aggressive. That's the only reason I can think why they had him bite him. I mean, that's so, like, I mean, who bites people? I don't know.
I agree.
Like, I mean, I don't know. It's weird.
I agree.
But,
although, like, I think he behaved strangely in this episode in general.
Yeah. Was it me, or did he have a Southern accent?
He totally did. That he'd never had before.
He never did, but this whole episode, he's all Mr. Southern.
I ain't done raise no dummies. Like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was very, very strange. I didn't know if he was basically like, if that's who he really is, he's just this like Southern con man. And,
yeah.
I mean, they say he's from Tallahassee, which, you know, I guess that counts. And
yeah.
And so maybe they were, you know, and that's who he really is. And this Anthony Cooper and this, like, you know, Canadian computer person, whatever he was, like, those are just, you know, he was changing his voice all that time, but
yeah.
he really is. But then it was weird when he's arguing with Sawyer, because Sawyer has a Southern voice, and I'm like, is he doing that to bait Sawyer or something?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell what was going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wasn't sure either. I kind of thought the same thing, that it could be his real, like, way of speaking, or maybe it's just because Sawyer's speaking that way, and, you know, they're talking about events taking place in Alabama. And,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that, and whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It was,
I've been to Jasper, I do believe. I went to a saloon.
I do
I had
declare.
a mint julep. I always depended on the ignorance of strangers for my con game.
Oh God, yeah. It was very confusing. I wish I could read the script. I bet the script explains it. And
probably.
Because it usually does explain those things that, like, don't, you know, you can't, I don't know how you express that, you know, in the movie. He'd have to, in the thing itself, like, he'd have to sort of say what he was doing. Unless
it was just a directing or acting choice, like, it wasn't in the script, but they just decided, you know, to do that. Like, you know, the director was like, hey, let's reveal that he really is at this thing or something. Or
could be.
I don't know.
Could be.
Well, yeah, and this first scene was sort of anticlimactic in a way, because it was like, hey, this crazy thing, and okay, let's leave now.
Yeah.
Why are we leaving? Oh, I can't tell you. No time, but let's just go. And then, well, and the first big thing is, which by the end of the episode, I guess we figure that he's just misinformed, but when he's like basically insinuating that they're all in hell,
right?
Which I thought was really, really interesting when he's like, what did he say? Where's the line at? What was his first line?
I think he said something like, don't you know where we are?
Oh, yeah, don't you know where we are? And then later he has that line like, I'll be here for a week, or something. I'll be here all week. Did you remember that?
No, I don't remember that one.
That's in the scene where he's tied up to the obelisk. Yeah, when Locke, like, can't kill him or something, and he's like, I'll be here the rest of the week if you change your mind. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, are you going to, like, magically go back? Or, like, did Ben promise you could leave? Or, like, I thought that was weird. You didn't catch that?
No. I can't believe he said that. What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did say that. What kind of bullshit line is that?
I don't know.
God.
Unless he was trying to make a joke and say, like, you know, he's obviously tied up, so he's like, you know, I'll be here if you want to come kill me later or whatever.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I just ignored it, I guess.
No, that's always good in this show.
Yeah.
Just ignore the line.
Yeah, you know, that doesn't make sense. Therefore, it didn't happen.
Oh, that's great. That'll get you far.
Yeah, I watched it twice, and I didn't even register that. That's weird. I don't know what to do with that line.
If he would have said, like, I'll be here to the end of the week, then I would have been like, whoa, that's extremely crazy. But he said, I'll be here. Well, he said the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have said, I'll be here all week, then I would have been like, it's kind of just a joke thing. And then if he said, I'll be here till the end of the week, I would have been like, oh, well, that means he's leaving. But then he said the rest of the week, which was pretty much the end of the week. Like, when the week's up, I'm done. I don't know. I can only imagine he's just joking. I can't imagine Ben, like, said, okay, if, we'll let you go in a week. Or my initial thought was how, like, whatever magical way he got on the island, before we hear his real story, I thought it was like he just sort of knew it would only last for 7 days or something. Like once 7 days are over, he'll just be magically transported back to Tallahassee or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was my initial thought, but I don't know. I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know what to do with that either. I got nothing. I have no idea. No idea. I can't even. Yeah, your joke theory is the best I can do.
Mm-hmm.
That he's just saying shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would think that, and I mean they just leave him there.
Well, let's go back to that first scene when when basically Anthony says, "Don't you know, John? Don't you know who we are?" And then Locke asks Ben, "What do you mean?" And Ben says, "I'm afraid we don't have time to deal with that right now."
Yeah.
And I mean, why not just tell Locke, like, he's mistaken or whatever? I mean, it was so weird when he said we don't have time to deal with that. Like, the answer seems pretty simple.
It is, and I think that was a teaser.
Just for the audience.
Yeah, because when I watched it, I was like, oh, shit, what is he going to say?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you learn it, it's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ben's just like, or maybe I don't even know what he's... But yeah.
Maybe he really doesn't think they have time. It's like, I don't want to deal with that. We're leaving.
Yeah. It would take him like, oh, he thinks he's in hell. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, like, fuck it. He thinks he's in hell. He's obviously mistaken. Let's go, John.
Yeah. It really isn't. Yeah, I think they wanted to reveal it later, but they wanted to tease it then, and having Ben say that was just, it made it seem like he really, like, knew some kind of secret, and, made it seem all mysterious and very frustrating. Very frustrating.
Well,
So, I want to bring up something really quick from the beginning of the episode.
Okay.
Because I think this episode is pretty similar to 3 Minutes in, like, construction. Okay. Sort of Locke leaves for a bunch of episodes, and then he comes back, and then as, like, the current timeline is developing, we see what happened when he was gone. And so that, that general structure. And at the beginning, he burns this file, and Michael burned the list.
Yeah.
And then, of course, later we find out what it is, just like we did in 3 Minutes.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that kind of parallel thing going on.
Yeah, very similar.
With those episodes.
The person burning is the person who comes back to the camp and to do whatever. And
it makes it seem like they have some kind of secret and, and you wonder, what's that? What is he burning? If you burn things, you want to know what they are. But yeah. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted
the burning creates the interest.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But real quick, I just want to see.
Oh, there's another like bullshit thing to bring up.
Okay.
There were a lot of Johns like in that first flashback. Like they just said John like a lot of times.
In the first scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't really catch that.
John. So yeah, anyway.
Are you making a point of that they're calling him John, or you thought it was weird that they just said his name a lot?
It just seemed like it was said, I warned you, John. Don't you know, John? We don't have time to deal with that, John.
Yeah.
It was just like, I don't know, it stuck out. I don't really have a point. I just thought it was a little much with the Johns.
With the Johns, yeah.
You know, at a certain point. I mean, you can use it sometimes, but if you have a bunch of lines like that, like 3 lines in a row almost, like, come on.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Also in this sort of first scene, I question, a little small question, why did Ben suggest that he say goodbye to Kate, like, only? Like, Jack is there, Saeed is there.
Yeah.
It's weird that he said, you might want to say goodbye to Kate, which obviously that line is really just for continuity.
Absolutely.
But it was very strange that they didn't even want to imply that he could have said bye to anyone else. Or
now with Jack, you know, I understand, but I don't see why he can't say goodbye to Saeed.
Yeah, I mean, they're friends, right?
Yeah, I guess Saeed maybe was pissed at him too, but I don't think. Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, why Kate? Just because they wrote that scene already?
Pretty much. I think that's it.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
I don't think there's much to that. He just, yeah.
So another question I have. I don't know if we want to get into the whole thing about this, but well, it's not really a question. It's sort of rhetorical because I don't think there's a real answer besides that's just how they wrote it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty crappy that they didn't, that Locke, you know, Locke basically tells Sawyer, not basically, literally, tells Sawyer that he captured Ben. And I thought, like, why not just tell him he has the real Sawyer? He has the guy who conned your mom and killed and your dad subsequently killed your parents for that.
Mm-hmm.
Which would have definitely made Sawyer want to go.
Yeah.
Sawyer would have ran to go over there, would have run. And I just thought it was weird. I mean, I get maybe it was for the audience. I mean, I never once thought that Locke had captured Ben. There was no way to tell Locke had been captured.
No way. And like, when Sawyer walks into the room, like, it reminded me of the scene from Echo's flashback when, what's her name, like, walked in. Oh, I thought you were Yimmy. Did you really? Like,
oh, yeah.
Like,
did you really? The 5'6" short guy.
Yeah,
like 6'5" huge guy.
I thought Yimmy grew a foot and, like, gained 100 pounds. Like,
I've never seen Yimmy before, apparently. I just thought you were him.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And I couldn't believe Sawyer couldn't tell that it wasn't Ben just based on looking at him.
You know what, I noticed that I think Cooper's a little bit bigger, but you know, Ben's a little big, and I think I looked at that too when the second time I watched it, and you know, when you get to see Cooper with the bag over his head, I'm like, that could be Ben, like it could be, but considering that he never, I don't think he got a great, you know, we know how Ben looks, you know, really, but I don't think Sawyer really told him that much, right?
No,
like
he really didn't. He really didn't.
A couple times, and if your old trusty friend Locke says, "Here's Ben," and you got a guy, you know, I could see he would buy that, but yeah, I think for the audience to think that was Ben, I thought was a little weird.
Yeah, I think like for the drama of him discovering that it was the real Sawyer, and you know, the way the scene plays out, like if he already knew, it takes all the punch out of that. So
yeah,
you know,
true.
I think maybe that's why they want to do it, and of course to fool the audience, and to make him think, oh shit, he kidnapped Ben. Whoa.
Yeah, right.
You know. I didn't believe it either, but I think they wanted people to. I
think it was something about Locke's delivery of that line, like, I kidnapped Ben, I want you to kill him. Like, I just didn't buy that. Like, yeah, right, Locke, come on.
Yeah, it wasn't believable. But I think, you know, we've seen Locke more, you know, lately than Sawyer has. And we know more about what he's gone through, and maybe the Sawyer that seemed plausible.
I mean, obviously, he sort of thought he had him. So.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He did. He was suspicious, but, yeah, he went along.
And I hated that he didn't get his shoes. Like, Locke wouldn't have waited for him to get his shoes? Like, come on.
I actually liked that. I actually liked that he had to walk around barefoot and, like, his feet were hurting. It reminded me of that whole thing you said about the others walking around barefoot and how that would be a bad idea.
It's a bad idea to walk around the jungle barefoot. There's way too many things to step on.
Yeah, I don't know. I like
and they do it.
Yeah. I thought it was just a nice little detail. I don't know.
That was weird. It's just, I don't know. I wouldn't have gone without my shoes. That's just me, though.
Yeah. I wouldn't have either, but I don't know.
So my next little question is the scene where they're in the what should we call this place? The temple or the outdoor?
Yeah, the outdoor ceremonial.
Ancient.
Altar?
Call it the, how about this sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. What does the transcript call it?
I don't know.
Let's see if they have a good word for it. Great.
I guess we'll just call it the campgrounds.
Okay.
Let's call it the campgrounds. Anyway, they're at the campgrounds, and that first time we see it, and they're pitching tents and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, when's the last time that these people have had to pitch tents? And even before the FAMP, the whole fake camp thing.
Yeah.
When did they really have to pitch these tents and live out here? And why does Cindy know how to pitch a tent? Like, did they teach her that? Or, what's going on with that? I guess, it's I'm sure it's kind of like riding a bike. Once you pitch a tent, you sort of never forget or something. But
yeah.
I just think it should have been quite a while since they've had to really pitch tents, right? But, everybody's doing it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Wasn't Locke helping Cindy, though?
Locke was helping her, but it seemed like she still kind of knew what she was doing. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. But everybody else was, doing it, too.
Yeah.
And it's why do they know how to do it? Did they just teach you that? Is that part of the others training?
It isn't that hard. I think I could pitch a tent, and I don't...
But you still gotta know what you're doing, though.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I usually read the instructions, but, Oh,
I don't think they had instructions.
No?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a small thing, but my big question is I just wonder how long it's been since they actually if they were actually living in tents ever,
Aside from the FAMP?
Yeah, maybe this next place they're going will really shed light on where they used to live or something.
It could have been many years.
Yeah.
But I have no idea. Based on what we've seen so far. When Juliet showed up, they weren't living in tents. So
that's only 3 years.
And based on her flashback, obviously they probably omitted some stuff, but based on her flashback, it didn't seem like they'd been living in tents any time in the past few years.
Yeah.
So,
it seems like they moved into O-Town, right after the purge and everything, right after they defeated Dharma.
Yeah. So whenever that ended, I don't know when that ended. The fact that Kelvin was there, he would have been, if he were recruited by Dharma, that would mean they were doing something into the maybe early to mid 90s. So maybe I don't know, maybe 95 or I don't know.
It's almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Or 8 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe that's when they moved in.
Interesting.
Maybe a future episode will shed light on that.
Well, it was weird. So I guess the only reason they stopped at this place, this campground, was for Locke to kill Cooper, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe to sort of take a rest. They probably have been walking for a while. It was really interesting how they had all their supplies with them and the tents and all the camping stuff, and because we didn't see them really leave with that stuff.
No.
But it was interesting that they're kind of walking around with all that, and then that line, which brings up an old, almost one of the first big questions about the others, is leaving the tracks. He's like, "Oh, we'll leave a trail for you to follow," like as if they can will themselves to leave a trail or not.
Right.
I don't know what to do with that. What did you make of that line?
Because if we didn't leave a trail, you would never be able to follow us.
Yeah, like if we didn't consciously leave a trail, you wouldn't be able to track us.
I know there's like 40, 50 people, walking through.
Yeah, and we're carrying heavy stuff and whatever, and did they have shoes on? I didn't notice.
I didn't either. I think they did though.
Yeah, I think they did.
Like Ben was wearing his standard clothes.
Yeah, he was.
Not his dressed down clothes.
No.
So they probably were wearing shoes. I don't know what they're gonna do with that barefoot stuff. Not leaving track stuff. I want to believe they can resolve that satisfactorily, but it just looks weirder and weirder.
Maybe it has something to do with, like, their connection to the island, and the island sort of covers up their tracks or something. Which, I don't want to know how that works.
I don't either.
I don't want to see, like, the leaves unbreaking or, like, the stems, like, I don't even want to guess how that could work. But maybe that's what we're supposed to believe is the island, like, protects them or something. And, but it's like, okay, how do you tell the island, okay, now I want to leave tracks?
Right.
And the island's like, okay, then I won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we are supposed to believe that. I don't know. Everything I've seen of the others so far leads me to believe that there's nothing very mystical about them.
Yeah.
So far they all seem very down to earth.
Them particularly, yeah.
So, all that mystical stuff that seemed to be going on in the past just looks really bizarre right now. I can only hope that there's some great explanation for it, and that they weren't just kind of teasing us and, they're just normal. Never mind all that.
Oh, never mind.
When they said they don't leave tracks, what he meant was...
He was just saying that.
Yeah.
He was wrong.
He just wasn't a very good tracker is all.
Yeah, he didn't know what to look for.
Yeah.
I could totally see them saying that.
I could
he didn't know what to look for. God.
The whispers too, man. Those like the whispers that they've totally abandoned this season, conspicuously. They kind of worry me. I mean, they included them as recently as the season 2 finale.
Yeah.
And it seems like if they were going to abandon them, they should have known by then. But they wrote them in and had them right before the others showed up, and then we go a whole season without hearing not even a mention of them. Not even someone like, hey, we used to always hear whispers and we don't anymore. What happened?
Yeah.
Because it was a thing for a while.
It was a huge thing. I don't know. I don't know if they're ever going to do anything with that.
And if they really just drop it and never mention it again, I mean, that's just going to seem really crappy.
I still stick to telepathy.
Right. Good old telepathy.
That's all I got. And I think they don't need, we just haven't seen them speak telepathically just because.
They just don't do it usually.
They don't do it anymore. It's so last season.
They never told Juliet about it, and can she do it if she joined them? Or Cindy, can she do it? Or is it only, original others?
Original others, please.
Okay, I see.
Original others.
Born on the Island others? Or Jacob others?
Tom was there when we heard it in season 2.
Yeah.
The finale, so maybe Tom can do it. I don't know. I got another question about Cindy, though.
And that was the other thing. When they took Cindy, we heard the whispers.
Yeah.
So it's, they gotta... Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, it's sort of a rhetorical question. You know, she seemed very easily indoctrinated into the other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm all with them now. Like, we've been waiting for you. Like, and I wonder what sort of, you know, quote gesture of free will or commitment did she make in order to join them. And maybe it's as simple as sort of, you know, not leaving them to go back to the Losties or something. I don't know. But Locke basically has to kill his father in order to show his commitment. I just wonder what she had to do.
Well, maybe she wasn't flawed already. Maybe she didn't have any, you know, problems that she had to deal with.
But but that's the thing. I mean, okay, Locke is flawed, but he's also, like, really, 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 really special. It seems like special should trump the flawedness.
I know, but it doesn't.
You know, it doesn't. Oh, well, them's the rules.
He's not on Jacob's list, but he's very special, and whatever, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he should be the most special person on the island, from what Alpert said.
Yeah.
You know, someone who can walk instantly from getting on the island, like, man, that's insane.
And this episode suggests that his like, healing radiates from him or something, as Ben sort of implies that he, you know, him being able to walk is because of Locke.
Oh, is that what you took from that?
Yeah. What did you take from that?
Oh, that's interesting. I definitely like that. That's crazy, but
I agree, it's crazy. But
what I got from his line about, like, what? Let me look at the line again. Something about, like, tingling now, whatever, and let me see. Where is it?
Oh, there it is. I don't know how to tell you how to find it, but
what did he say?
He said, he gets up and then he says, "I believe I have you to thank for this, John." And Locke says, "Me?" And oh, Locke, you sound silly when I read your lines. And then Ben says,
here he goes. Yeah, a week ago I couldn't move my toes, but the minute you showed up, I started to feel pins and needles. And this is all in the beginning, John. What I took from that was that Locke was helping him get on whatever right path he's supposed to be on. That's what I got from that. Like, because, you know, I mean, that was sort of the whole point of that you know, that scene was that that sort of Ben was on the wrong path or not connected to the island anymore, and Locke was, and then that, you know, this whole thing about their reliance on technology and modern stuff, and Locke was going to help Ben specifically get back to the good place or whatever. So that's what I thought he meant. Like, now that you're here, I can tell I'm on the right path because I can like sort of walk again now.
Yeah.
But this idea of radiating healing powers.
Now, you know, now that you say that theory sounds a lot more plausible than what I thought.
Radiating healing powers is something I should have come up with, and you should have come up with the more realistic thing.
We somehow reversed on that.
Yeah, that's weird.
I didn't even think of the, like, reasonable thing, like, because that's what I think that's totally what they're going for with this Locke business. So.
Yeah.
So it's right in line with that, and so I think, and David and Carlton have alluded to that, and they wrote this episode, and that's very, very, very likely what that is.
Yeah.
But I didn't. That only thing occurred to me was like, I have you to thank. Oh, I guess he radiates healing.
That's awesome. He should be a character on Heroes.
Yeah.
He like radiates healing. That's pretty cool.
You just have to sort of stand around him, and you just kind of start to heal.
Sawyer's feet shouldn't have hurt that much.
Mm-hmm. A good point. It's selective.
So, yeah, like all things on the island, it doesn't work for everyone all the time.
Right, because if they did, then we would have had to plan for that, and we didn't.
Exactly. So this whole thing about, but no, good answer about Cindy, by the way, about, you know, whether or not she had to make a gesture of free will or commitment, because maybe she didn't have to because she's not flawed.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like, well, I guess if they took her, then they wanted her.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if they. I mean, now I have to wonder if they took her for anything to relating to the pregnancy issue.
Mhm.
You know, was it just because because that was the thing, they didn't take her before, because that was their whole, you know, everyone was talking about that, like they didn't take her when they took the original group of the
that is
tail
kind of
section
odd.
people. So maybe they decided to take her later because they were like, oh, you know, she's a woman and maybe do something with her, or I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that is weird. Oh,
maybe the whole pregnancy issue they're dealing with might explain why they took her when they did. And
it seems like she's been assigned to take care of the tail section kids.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense because they sort of know her already, and
right.
She has nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
We don't enjoy freeloaders in our society. You're gonna do something.
Yeah,
Did you ever watch Three's Company?
Yeah.
Was Cindy Cindy wasn't the flight attendant on Three's Company. That was Sherry or Terry. Was Terry the flight attendant?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, yeah, if that's the name.
Every time I think of Cindy, I think of Three's Company, and I was just wondering that, like, did they get Cindy because Cindy was a flight attendant? And but I think Terry was a flight attendant.
Yeah, no, Cindy was the whatever.
She was just like she was somebody's cousin, right?
Yeah.
She was like Suzanne Summers' cousin, I think.
Is that? Yeah.
Yeah. She was towards the end. Anyway, that's flashback TV.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to bring up? I got some stuff, but I'll throw it over to you.
Okay, I got plenty of stuff. Not really. Let's see. Okay.
That was good.
I already said that. Thank you. I'm usually not a very good whistler. I think it worked because I wasn't thinking about it.
Nice.
Let's see. Blah blah blah. Oh, I already said this. Okay. God, so many things. Okay, how about this? We talked about that scene with Ben where he tells Locke that he has him to thank for him getting better. Mm-hmm. In that scene, we also find out maybe a major revelation for this episode in terms of the future, that what they're going to do is kidnap all the women that they discover are pregnant.
Yeah.
That's their plan. That wasn't really known until this episod.
Yeah, it seemed. I mean, it was kind of obvious. I mean, you know, I think we theorized that, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was nice to get some confirmation of that, definitely.
Yeah, and I don't know. I didn't necessarily think they were going to take him. I thought maybe they were going to, I don't know, do something else.
Yeah, that's true. It was a little weird that they're just gonna take him.
Maybe because, like, I thought it just seemed too redundant or something because they've already had all this taking stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were going to go for, they're going to take the pregnant women again. Like, I don't know.
Again, yeah.
It just seemed like kind of whatever. So
it's funny, that same redundancy is what Ben uses as support, because he's like, we've done this before, John.
Right, and that's exactly what I want to talk about. So I'm glad you said that. So, yeah, he says, yeah, we've done this before, and I can't even find the line. There we go. Trust me, no one will get hurt. Okay, so, Ben, do you remember what happened the previous times when you took people?
Yeah.
There were people hurt, and people died, in fact.
Yeah.
So the idea that, like, when you take people, no one gets hurt is just bullshit.
Yeah, unless he's saying this time will be different.
But he seemed to be suggesting, like, we know what we're doing. No problem.
He's definitely suggesting that.
Whatever, man. They didn't even know what you were doing, and there were still injuries.
Yeah.
Like, now, like, you know, they're prepared for it in a way. Like, you know, they're aware that that's a thing.
Yeah, they will be caught off guard, though. I mean, now, especially, well, now that Sawyer's going to tell them they'll be prepared, but otherwise they would have been fairly caught off guard, I think. You know, before, remember the whole thing in season 1, or when they had, like, the security, the perimeter thing?
Oh, yeah,
and, Remember that? I remember talking about that episode, and you thought,
oh yeah,
what you thought the cans are gonna like fall on their head or
yeah,
something?
that was it. The bag of cans.
You're like
gonna hit him in the head.
It's gonna
and that would stop him.
Oh no! A bag of cans hit me in the head. I have been thwarted. I shall retreat. Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Yeah, I forgot. You said something like, I give up. You guys are crazy. You got your own problems. I'm not even going to take them anymore. I'm just going to kill all of you. You're too crazy.
Exactly.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, that's that's what happens when the obvious thing doesn't occur to me.
Mm-hmm.
I come up with some kind of weird theory.
They'll trip the wire and the bag of cans will fall on their head. Yay!
Yay! I mean, it's not a very good trap. Rousseau would not approve.
Rousseau would not approve. It's not toy driven, so doll oriented, please.
Right.
Doll centric.
Doll oriented traps.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's good.
By Danielle Rousseau.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like she should have some kind of product line. That's a
I
good,
can see that. I can see that. A branch of Acme, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could get Acme to sponsor her.
Yeah, I think they'd love that shit. It's perfect.
Definitely would.
Very.
I could see it in a Roadrunner cartoon.
Yeah, I was gonna say Wile E. Coyote, but with a little doll twist.
The little doll, and the Roadrunner's like beep beep. Sees the doll and like picks it up and almost gets in a trap.
Oh.
And then he and Wile E. Coyote get caught in a net.
Oh no.
Which I don't think is good for kids to see, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you're ruining the innocence of America.
Yay!
Yay! Anyway, yeah, so, and I also thought it was weird because, he listens to Juliet's tape, and the subtitle said, like, 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And the Juliet's tape was last episode. So, you know, the timeline's kind of weird. I guess, like, this episode is 3 days later than the previous one.
Interesting.
So,
let's see if that's true. Well, according to Lostpedia, date of conception was days 87 to 88, and the brig was days 83 to 91. So, do the math. I don't know. Oh, okay, this says 3 days ago was day 88. And this was...
So 91 is the present day.
So, but this says, DOC was, the last day was 88, so they would have had to have got it that day, basically.
Oh, yeah, that day.
So I guess it works. Because she did it that morning. She was like 6 a.m. that morning. So somebody ran and got it from that place that day and brought it over to the bin later that day. So
yeah, I guess that's the thing.
It lines up.
Yep. But I just thought it was odd because usually you think of the episodes as being, you know, one day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a little break in that timeline.
Yeah.
I don't really know why, but it is what it is. I don't know.
I thought it was weird that he was listening to it and then, like, Locke comes in and he cuts it off. And, but then he just eventually told him what the plan was anyway.
Yeah, he told him, like, he told him, like, right away.
Yeah. It's like, you can't listen to this, but I'll just tell you.
Yeah, he asked him what it is, and he tells him exactly what it is. He's very straightforward and honest about it.
Yeah, which is why I don't believe him.
Which is strange for Ben. Yeah, I wonder, you know, because Locke sort of betrays the others by telling Sawyer and giving him the tape and everything. It makes me wonder now, considering Ben's history of honesty, or lack thereof, that maybe it sort of is their plan, but maybe they've got some extra thing that he's withholding from Locke that'll give him an advantage. that will prevent this information from being helpful. I don't know. Purely speculative.
He says they're going to go in and take him. He doesn't say when, though, right? So Locke doesn't know that. So they still have the element of surprise, presumably.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else could be going on. Ben, I don't think Ben really likes Locke, and I don't think he really trusts him. I think he kind of hopes Locke is the person that they want him to be, but he sort of doesn't. And now that you bring that up, I don't really know if I buy Ben being so honest about something that big and crucial to what Ben wants to do. So yeah, I don't know if he would trust Locke with that information. Maybe it is just maybe that's not really their goal after all. I don't know what their goal could be, but
they do care about the pregnant women. I don't doubt that.
Yeah, it's something to do with the pregnant women, obviously, but are they really going to take them? I mean, what else would they do with them?
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I tend to believe him, even
she's
though
she's obviously trying to find out who's pregnant, and once you find that out, it's like, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe he's just telling the truth. It's just the one time ever he's telling the truth.
Yeah, I do think he's telling the truth, but maybe there's some like secret weapon that they have.
Yeah, some missing piece.
Yeah, some extra bit that he's not. But I do believe him for now at least. Even though it's hard to believe him, but it just seems so reasonable.
Mhm.
I cannot believe him. Okay.
All right, what's next on your list?
So that was my thing. I have not that
Five
much.
left.
Yeah. My other stuff is like later stuff, like pretty much Cooper Sawyer stuff, and like
Okay.
Jack. There's a little thing with Jack and this Naomi situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't want to go to that for some reason. So do you want to do something?
Yeah. Well, mine is about, I guess, sort of towards the middle or something, beginning, middle, first, third. I don't know. The whole thing with Locke killing Cooper on the little, chain to the obelisk. That whole big scene. Like, was he? It's funny. We always talk about the morality of the others, and they just get worse and worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's supposed to go kill his dad in front of all these, pretty much strangers and kids. Who are standing there watching him. Right. And there's so much wrong with that, like, on his end of it, that he has to do this, and then, like, why do the others think, do they really think this is something he needs to do, like, for the greater good of their society or something? Mm-hmm. Or do they just believe Ben, or, like, it's very strange that they think, oh, wow, well, he'll never be whatever unless he kills his father. Yeah. It's just really weird.
Now, I agree that he needs to let go of the anger that he has for his father, and he needs to deal with that. So in that way, I can kind of go along with him. But the idea that he must murder him, in front of these people, that just seems kind of ridiculous. And their morality is insane. That they have the gall to, like, act as though they're superior and look down on the Losties, when this is the kind of bullshit they endorse. It's insane.
It makes me think that. That's the thing. If he actually killed his father, I think he would have guilt about killing his father.
Of course.
And he would be able to let go of that. And
how could you not?
What he needs to do is talk to a psychologist, not like kill somebody. Like, where's Libby when you need him? Libby needs to come back and tell him just to breathe, and then he'll magically forget all about his father.
Oh, Libby, you were so helpful.
You were so helpful, Libby. Wow. Yeah. I think it was her helpfulness that got her killed, because she's like, I'll get the wine.
Yeah, I know. God damn her.
Wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. Being all helpful.
And see, that's another mystery that I guess they won't ever come back to, is what was she doing in the mental institution?
Yeah, I know, right?
I guess at this point, I feel like they won't ever get to that. I mean, I'll hold out for 2 more seasons.
You know what?
And then if they don't do it,
I'll call it right now. I bet throwaway line. That's what I'm calling right now. Throwaway line.
What's the throwaway line?
Like somebody's flashback, there'll be some kind of throwaway line.
They'll solve it in a throwaway line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's what they'll do. I think they will try to address it, but I don't think it'll be much. I think it'll just be like, yeah, that Libby, she was crazy. She killed her husband.
Maybe they'll find Libby's file, and maybe one of the Lockies will find her file.
Oh, there's that. That would work.
And then they'll read it and see why she was there. Maybe Hurley will find it.
Oh no.
Now I know where I know you from.
He'll be so disillusioned.
Yeah, I played ping pong with you in the mental institution. I beat you like I beat everyone.
Like I beat everyone.
The Hurley.
God. Yeah. So
anyway, that was that thing. I was so incredulous that they want him to kill Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
All these people and these kids. Like, what are you teaching the kids?
I know.
Like, be good, and you kids are special, and we're all good people, and they're bad people, but we're the ones who are killing and kidnapping and like murdering and.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's very odd.
Yeah, they've obviously got a very skewed sense of morality that isn't in line with most ordinary people.
Yeah.
So yeah, at this point I don't think you can make us buy they're good and the Losties are bad.
They almost had me with Juliet when she gave her little story about what they were doing to Claire. Like, I was like, oh, okay, they were doing it to save her life. Okay, now I can see. But with something like this, just like, yeah. Even
with that, though, they were selective. They left out the brutal parts.
Well, yeah. That was, her first part is what I thought, and I was like, oh, yeah. But then, when you think about it,
why did he take Charlie? Why not just knock him out and leave him there? He not only took him, he, hung him up.
Yeah.
And then he came back and said he was going to kill everyone, and actually killed one of them,
And I do want to believe that was Ethan saying that and not speaking for the others.
Mm-hmm.
I think he felt a lot of pressure to get Claire back, and so he was willing to do and say whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't blame them for what he did, but still overall they're still pretty reprehensible.
And the other thing was Juliet claims that was all Ethan's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But they were, they had shit there at the medical hatch, and Tom had that line where he said, you were supposed to make a list and then bring her in. Was I not clear? Indicating that she was supposed to be brought in at some point. His only error was that he didn't make the list.
Yeah. Well, and I think how he brought her in was part of the problem, too. Kidnapping her when he did and all that stuff. I mean, I doubt they were going to ever ask her to come in, but...
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that little line.
Yeah, and so I think Juliet was selective, and, by leaving things out, she made the others look better.
Yeah.
If you tell the whole story, they still don't look that nice in that situation. It's just sort of their motives look a little more nice, but the way they carried out the plan was just not nice at all.
Pretty bad.
So they almost had me too, but I don't think they ever will at this point.
No, at this point it keeps getting worse and worse.
Yeah, it does. It does. And that was weird. The whole hype with this season is the more we learn about the others, the more we'll understand and sympathize with them or something. And it's really hard to sympathize with this kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
I can't bring myself to.
But hey, they won over Cindy.
They really did. She's all
about it. She's all about it.
Oh, kid, look, he failed.
Don't be like him.
Yeah. God.
I don't know.
I don't either.
So let's see. My next little question: why does Russo need dynamite?
Oh, flash forward. Yeah, that scene, that's another one. That's why this episode just felt like a teaser to me.
Yeah.
They just sort of like teased us with a lot of stuff and didn't really deliver very much.
Russo coming to grab a box of dynamite is like, that's a huge thing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's blown up stuff before, but it's like, you know. It was really weird, too, when he's like, be careful, it's unstable, but it's like, shouldn't she know that? I mean, I guess he's just saying that. I don't know if that's a setup line or what, but it's like, I mean, presumably this is where she always gets her dynamite from. You know,
I think it's just a reference, and he's just saying that. You know, it's sort of plot checking the previous time. You know, they dealt with the dynamite.
Yeah.
And it being unstable was a huge thing, and.
Well, they kind of did that with Sawyer's line, too, though, because he, like, hits the box, and it's like, what's this? Oh, it's dynamite, you know, like, don't hit it.
Yeah, right.
You know, and then they did it again with Rousseau, and I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Like, she should know that. But it was very strange. I did sort of like how that little scene played out, because she's like, I'm not going to ask you any questions, you don't ask me any questions.
Yeah. Yeah, both of these things look kind of suspicious, but we'll just not acknowledge what's going on and let each other go our separate ways.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure they'll meet at some point.
I don't know what she's going to do, but I'm guessing it has something to do with Alex.
I think she's either going to blow up O-Town or blow up, like, the Sonic fence to get into O-Town, because I'm assuming the fence is on.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know why you would leave it off if you could help it.
No, the fence is off because Juliet turned it off, unless they turned it back on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, no, she turned it on. She turned it off and then on.
They all left, and it was off, and then she crossed it and then turned it on.
Yeah.
And they had to turn it off when they left again.
Yeah.
So presumably, I mean, that's the thing. I don't know if you can turn it on and have it on and still leave.
Yeah.
You maybe only need to turn it on if you're on the other side, on the inside of it. I don't know. Depends on where the control, you know, if there's another outside control panel or something.
Yeah. That's what they made it look like.
That's what they made it look like. So I don't know. I don't know if she's going to go blow up something or... obviously she's blowing up something.
She's going to blow up something.
I don't know what she's going to do, but it was very, very interesting.
I can't imagine, like... Next episode, like, Danielle just runs up and starts throwing dynamite sticks at people.
That'd be awesome.
Like some kind of really bad old video game villain.
Yeah, she just runs from left to right on the screen, throwing dynamite at people.
Yeah.
It's a nice little bomb, though. I mean, if you can actually throw it without, like, it blowing you up.
Right.
It's kind of nice if it, like, whatever it hits, it'll blow up. But it's, you know, a whole stick, you know. You'd have to throw it pretty far.
That'd be...
To not get some stuff on you.
Or some hearing damage that changes your personality for one scene.
Some what? Oh, are you talking about... What are you talking about?
I'm talking about. I thought maybe you'd get it. I'm talking about.
I almost get it. Like what? Was it Hurley or somebody?
It was Charlie in the season 2 finale.
That's right.
He had that weird personality for one scene.
He did have a weird. Yeah, I don't know what they were doing with him.
Nothing happened. What? They're not back yet?
They're not back yet? Oh, maybe because we almost died. Keep playing, Charlie. Oh, you're right. Nothing happened. Okay.
Yeah, like that. Oh God, maybe that's just bad writing now in the light of day.
Yeah, but who wrote that though? Didn't Carlton and Damon write that?
Yeah, they did.
Well, I guess nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. At the time, like I thought they were going to set up that like Charlie was totally different now.
Yeah, he's going to do something and do. Yeah, no.
But yeah, he's so the same old Charlie. Nothing changed at all, and it was just It's just I think it's just bad writing in retrospect. Nice to come to these conclusions. This much later. But I think sometimes like you get a perspective on things after 20 episodes go by, and you can sort of see what they did with it, you know.
Yeah.
And becomes clear, you know, what all that shit's about. Anyway, what was the point? The Rousseau scene. Yeah, I think they ought to come back to that. Maybe she will blow up O-Town. I just imagined she was going to, like, somehow get Alex using the dynamite. I don't really see how that's going to work, though.
I don't either, and I mean...
And she took a whole box.
She took a whole box, man. I mean, Arntt's had, one stick and he blew up?
Yeah.
And she's taking a whole box, and they had carefully, wrapped the dynamite when they were trying to take it.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, she's done it before, so...
Yeah. Yeah, she ain't going to die.
Was it just me, or was did the Black Rock look weird? Like, I had no idea where they were until they said Black Rock. Like, the way, I don't know if it was it was the way the shot looked when Sawyer and Locke first got there.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell what I was looking at.
Yeah, me too.
Did you have a problem with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was some, okay, I got all sci-fi again.
Oh, boy.
I thought it was, some sort of, rift in reality.
Wow.
It was like the jungle facade had disappeared. It was like a hologram or something, and this was behind what was really there, and
wow.
'cause Sawyer was so amazed, and I couldn't tell what was, because it just looked like it was the jungle and this section that was an interior or something, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And Sawyer was so amazed. I'm like, man, this must be pretty fanciful, And then even when they got in, I didn't. He said it was a slaving ship and stuff, and I said, okay, I guess they're at the Black Rock, but I didn't really believe it till he said it. I thought maybe it was another ship or some sort of other thing, and I didn't know.
As soon as they got inside, I knew it was the Black Rock, but when I first saw it, I had no idea what I was looking at, and I thought it was just some random new location. I didn't think it was any place crazy. I just thought he had him in some kind of weird bunker thing that he found.
Yeah.
And I was just Sawyer's amazed because he hadn't seen it before, but it's no big deal. Whatever.
Whatever.
He's just wow, there's structures on the island. I'm still amazed by that. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, yeah, to me it was oscillating between some new place Locke found / just big revelation / rift in reality thing. I was weird. When
I watched it again, I could see the Black Rock. I could see what it was supposed to look like, but somehow the shot
it just looks weird.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it did in season 1 finale.
I don't think it was actually there. I think that's the point. The problem is that I don't think they had the ship anymore.
Oh.
And so it was a digital effect shot, and so I think that's why it looks weird, because it's not really there, and they tried to render it in a certain way, and
that's it. Yeah, because they really specifically didn't have the kind of scenes they had in the season 1 finale where they were right outside it.
Mm-hmm.
And you could really see something was there.
And they're not going to keep that ship propped around for that long,
Yeah. The use of it in this episode felt kind of cheap to me. It just seemed like a bad excuse to try to oh, look, we're bringing up the Black Rock again, but they didn't really do anything with it.
They didn't.
And it just kind of bothered me that I guess the dynamite being there was a thing, but I don't know. I felt like if you're gonna bring up the Black Rock, tell us something, and they didn't really. It just didn't really serve that much of a purpose. So it's just kind of disappointing to me.
Yeah. You mean in terms of how it got there and stuff?
Yeah, something. I don't know. Maybe Locke found out something about it from the others or something. Just something. But yeah, it's just I guess in Jack's episode when Cindy showed up, I felt the same way. It just felt like a cheap oh look, here's something that we haven't talked about in a while, and here it is, but we have nothing to say about it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's sort of a cop-out kind of thing, and I mean, Locke must have carried his dad pretty far, because the Black Rock is way closer to the main camp, right?
Oh boy.
Versus, I mean, I guess we don't really know where we know sort of where O-Town is, but we don't know where the campground was, so I don't know how far we really had to carry him, but it just seemed like it was fairly far.
I have to bring up this thing from the fuselage. Somebody asked Greg Nations about O-Town and it being close to the water. And
okay.
and they also provided him with a link to a picture of the shot from episode 1.
Obviously landlocked.
Yeah, and his response was something like, "Oh, I don't know. I think it's pretty close to the water."
Oh, I don't know.
He didn't. I'm making that part up, but he pretty much sort of just said I don't know. I think it's pretty close to the water.
Wow.
He just sort of, I don't know. He just kind of dismissed it.
Yeah.
So my conclusion is the geography of the island is pliable.
Oh, really? It just kind of changes on whim. What I would rather believe is that I think the problem is they want O-Town obviously on the water so they can get to the sub. But if it's on the water next to the beach, you can find it easy.
Yeah.
It's go around the circumference of the island. They want both. They want it secluded and hidden like in the shot we saw, but they want it accessible to the water.
Yeah.
If I was on the show, I would just write in an underground lake. A little lake right next to O-Town in the middle of the island, an underground corridor. What's wrong with that, people? What's wrong with that?
Man-made or natural?
Man-made, yeah. No,
okay.
Man-made.
Okay.
Man-made.
Interesting.
I mean, that's how, I think that's how, the Loch Ness Monster gets around. And they have, it sounds like a joke. But I remember seeing a documentary and the lake or whatever it is, the nest, whatever they call it, it has those underground, natural underground, channels or something that leads out into the ocean. So anyway,
and that's how what? That's how the Loch Ness Monster.
Because if I could be wrong because I haven't seen this thing in a while, but the Loch Ness Monster, the place that it's sited, I think it's a huge lake. That's when you look at it, it's it's landlocked, it's a lake. But I think scientists have discovered that there's these channels or tunnels or something that lead out into the ocean. And so that's why they haven't found the Loch Ness Monster, even though it's in this, sort of small area. They haven't been able to find it because it's able to go out into the ocean.
I see. Not because it doesn't exist.
Not because it doesn't exist.
Interesting.
I mean, they found, creatures and animals that are millions of years old, before. The idea of the Loch Ness Monster is real whatever, dude. It's just biology. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's a dragon or something. Show me a dragon and I'd be like, okay, that's crazy. But a sea creature that lives underwater and not often spotted, come on. That's easy.
It's easy, but I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true.
Why not?
Well, I think somebody should have legitimately spotted it by now.
They have pictures.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I mean, find it, and then I'll believe it exists.
Find it and you believe it? You're one of those people, huh?
Yeah. That's show me
if they had never found a sea creature that's really old and thought to be extinct before, I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But the coelacanth and all those old crazy animals that they find all the time, it's not crazy to me.
I just think these local legend kind of things don't usually have a basis in reality. So I tend to not believe that they,
Well, I mean, they have documented proof of the kind of animal that the Loch Ness Monster should be. They have fossil records of similar creatures. So it's not it doesn't, things like that have never existed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm tempted to believe it. They're dinosaurs that look basically like that, you know. And it's not crazy that a couple of them could have existed over time or whatever. But anyway, let's get back to Lost.
Okay. It's less crazy than some things, but
it's definitely less crazy than some things, you know.
But,
you know, even you know, something like a leprechaun or something, like, okay, that's just whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But or a pixie or a fairy or something, you know, that's to me more crazy than like an ancient animal that just has been able to, you know, I mean, you know, science discovers new species all the time, so it's nothing crazy.
I just think with all the, you know, activity around it, they should have found it by now.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's got the underwater channels.
Yes.
And they can do whatever and blah, blah, blah. But what's not crazy is this thing I'm going to bring up, which is, back to an old topic, I'm kind of thinking, or I'll pose the question, do you really think that Ben was really coming for John back in the Henry Gale days?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too.
Because now that we know that John they've been waiting for him, and he's this special guy. And I can see that maybe Ben wanted to see this man who could purportedly walk after being paralyzed. He wanted to see for himself, with his own eyes, or something like that. And that's one of the reasons, maybe not the only reason, that he went to the hatch.
It's odd that he spent a lot of his time fucking with him.
Yeah.
You know, like, just like messing with his mind and, you know, telling him all sorts of stuff.
Maybe that was part of the test, to see what kind of person he was, or to see, like, I don't know.
I mean, like, he, you know, when he would, like, taunt him about Jack being in charge, and then, like, he throws the dishes, the famous dish throwing scene.
Well, I think that's very much in line with what he's doing with his father. He's testing his flaws. And obviously Locke is sort of insecure, and Ben was trying to see, like, oh, okay, let me see if this guy's insecure about his position in his group, you know, and he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was just part of the test, just like he's sort of flawed because he's got this hang-up with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that. I mean, I saw a lot of that Here We Go stuff it's just pointless.
Yeah.
Now, but I could still see that kind of fitting in.
And then their button stuff and
the button's a whole different chapter. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, and God can't see this island. And,
yeah.
And then the finale. I was coming for you. And
coming for you. But
obviously the others are interested in Locke. So maybe that was like pseudo legitimate. That you know, even if that wasn't their intention, like it is sort of revealing about what's going on. But yeah, I guess I don't really believe that purely, but I think maybe there's some truth to it.
Yeah.
But it does. I mean, these episodes do make it seem like he's like a thing. He's the
next big thing.
Yeah, like they.
Locke is the new Ben.
Yeah. Indeed. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully next episode we'll get more on this.
Well, we have like 3 episodes left or something.
Yes.
Wow. The season is almost over,
including the shocking, explosive 2-hour finale.
I can't wait.
Only on ABC.
Only on ABC. 8/7 Central. Check your local listings.
I wonder if they'll start it at 9, if it's 2 hours. I hope so.
I don't know what they did last time.
Well, last time they were already starting at 9, and I think it just went through 10. But if the show plays at 10 now normally, I wonder if they'll go earlier or if they'll actually go into 11.
You know, I bet you could look it up online.
You know, you're probably right, but let's just speculate about it.
Let's speculate. Well, okay. Given their history, I think that they're going to... Yeah, no, that's one of the mysteries we could easily solve. We should start a website like whattimewillthefinalebe.com. And we'll have people post their theories about what time they think it's going to be on.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you have to back up your theory.
And you have to back up your theory and tell us how many commercial breaks you'll think it'll have. Yeah, no, that's weird. So
it was just an idle thought, but
yeah.
Hey, why not?
Why not?
Let's turn it into a phenomenon.
I think I have like 2 things left, man.
I got a few more than that. I have like 5 things, but
okay, why don't you go?
2 or 3 of them are trivial. I guess I felt I'm still stuck on the whole scene by scene thing, and I felt like we hadn't gotten to some of this stuff yet. But I guess I'll just
there's definitely a lot of stuff we haven't talked about, but in terms of like questions, I don't have a lot of questions left. There's definitely stuff scenes we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of the stuff with like Naomi and like all that, there's not a lot of questions there. I mean, I guess I could ask, do you think she's telling the truth about how she got there, why she's there, and is her freighter really 80 kilometers or whatever she said off the? Did she say kilometers?
I don't know.
Because if she didn't, I'm gonna really be
pissed. Nautical miles.
Did you say nautical miles?
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's even better. That's a lot better. Wow, Naomi. Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because yeah, that's what you got to do. It's got to be a nautical mile when you're dealing with ocean travel.
Mhm. All that.
Have you heard the whole thing about a nautical mile?
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
Isn't it interesting?
of the Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It is. I always thought it was just like bullshit. Like, like nautical just means like it's on the water.
Mhm.
But it's just a mile, so who cares?
Yeah. No, it's really interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is, and very, very reasonable.
Very reasonable and interesting. Like most scientific things.
Indeed. Luckily. The answer to your question that I wanted to bring up too is that I believe her 100%.
I thought when Saeed was sort of suspect, it kind of came off like, like standard Saeed, like he didn't seem like to have a real good reason to not believe her, but he's like, I just don't want to believe you because that's just my character.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just very suspicious, and it played off okay.
He was right about Ben. He was right about Juliet, and I think he's due to be wrong.
You think he's due to be wrong?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how you. What do you think he still doesn't believe her? Because I thought he sort of. When she pulled out the radio, she sort of proved her point.
I guess like his initial whatever was wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll buy that.
Because some people are still doubting this and still saying, maybe she's another and this is some elaborate plan to blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's the thing. When Saeed said, did you actually see her helicopter and blah, 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 like, I was like, well, we didn't see it and, all we heard was sound and
well, you saw a plop that was supposedly the helicopter. That whole thing got me because I'm like, man, that scene was weird.
That's weird. I don't know what that could have been. Maybe I don't know what they could have done to make that splash. Maybe like a underwater explosion or something. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. It was just
it would have been sort of ridiculous. I mean, they already have one mole.
Yeah, I know.
At the camp, do they really need 2 moles in the camp?
They really don't.
Yeah.
They really don't. And based on what we've seen before, she had the picture, the Penny Desmond picture, and she references, Penny looking for him, which is what she seemed to be doing in the season 2 finale. I mean, it's right in line with what I would expect, or what I thought she was before she said a word. So, I'm totally ready to believe her.
I mean, I think there's still room for I don't believe this, but I think, the others could have found out that Penny was looking for Desmond or something and then sort of infiltrated or usurped the rescue mission, and that, maybe that's why the helicopter crashed, was because they had somebody else on board, or she's an other, and you know what I mean? She just sort of infiltrated the rescue group. I could buy that, but I don't believe it because I don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
And her story seems pretty solid, so I'm inclined to believe it.
Yeah, me too. As soon as she showed up, that's what I thought she was. So
now, here's my next question about this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing with Kate and Jack and Juliet, that little scene.
Oh, that.
Which was very interesting. Did you have something else about Naomi?
Yeah, regarding the all dead thing.
Yeah.
All dead.
I love that. He's like, obviously we're not dead. Obviously. Just love that. She like closed her eyes. She like rolled her eyes. Like, obviously. Because if you're dead, I'm dead. I'm not dead.
You know, she said that they found, like, they clarified that they found the whole plane, and they sent, like, robots down there.
Yeah, they sent tiny robots.
and everybody was there, or something like that. I don't know what to do with that. And neither did they.
Yeah, they couldn't. I was hoping they'd be like, how is that possible, or coming up with an idea of how they could pull that off. I mean, what's interesting about that is that they didn't recover the wreckage or the bodies from how she said it, because it's like this deep ocean trench and they couldn't even get it. They could only just send robots.
Mm-hmm.
So what I think is that either the others basically, whatever company or research team or whatever was responsible for finding the wreckage was in control of the others, basically.
Okay.
And they're the ones who basically said, "Oh yeah, they're down there all right. All the bodies are down there. No need to keep looking." and it's up for grabs if they actually had real footage to show any of the authorities.
Yeah.
Presumably they should have had footage that maybe they could have constructed some. I don't know how you can construct something like that. But the idea that they found the whole plane, like I wonder if the plane was in one piece, because that seems really impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how did they replicate the plane? Like, it seems like it should have looked a certain way.
I feel like the others can get a plane.
Yeah.
And I think if they could get a plane, and maybe they could get some like fake bodies or something.
Oceanic decals and everything.
Yeah, oceanic decals and like the right plane, number.
Plane size and.
Now, what I would have liked to know is what about the black box for the plane? Because I don't think you can. I mean, maybe the others could, but a black box is, I think it has like security stuff, and it's a pretty specific piece of. Technology. Maybe
they took the black box from the real plane and put it in the fake plane. Not that would help.
That would help. No, that would definitely help give authenticity to the fake plane.
But I think they would get like the fact that the plane broke up and.
I mean, if they actually got the black box and read the information, that's not good. But if they got the robots close enough, and if the black box had like a working signal or something, and they're like, oh, this is the right signal for this plane. This is obviously the plane. But I don't want to believe they found the black box.
Maybe they'll go back to the plane and be like, the black box is gone. That's not going to happen.
Oh God! Maybe on the spin-off show they could do that. The black box is missing, but wait.
I don't think any of that shit's gonna happen, but I thought it was worth mentioning because it was a little more specifically explored. So
well, I wanted to think what are the benefits of them writing in the fact that the plane was found and all the bodies were there, because they could just have easily have said. Naomi could have just as easily said that, the plane the plane obviously went down the ocean, and we did we searched the air, the authorities searched the area where they thought it was and didn't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
The end, case closed.
Yeah.
But to say they found it in how deep is that trench? She said something ridiculous. Like that. It's such a crazy story.
4 miles deep.
Yeah, I mean, that's far. 4 miles into the ocean is pretty far. And it seems like it would have just been easier to say they couldn't find the plane and just leave it at that. The only benefit, I think, into having, and for the writers to have a character say they found the plane, is that to make the audience think that they're all dead. That's the only benefit I can see.
I think it creates a mystery.
Yeah, and it creates but it's such a minute mystery, though.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously they're not dead, so it's like, well, okay, that's over with, and I guess you wonder how did they construct that and or fabricate it? So. And
I think maybe it's supposed to raise the stakes that no one's looking for them. That case is closed and they're all dead. The end. Everybody at home thinks they're dead. And now, how does this work with Michael and Walt? I don't know. But,
when Michael and Walt show up, like, geez, like that's the thing. Yikes.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to lay low or something.
Why would the others go through all the trouble of fabricating the plane wreckage and the bodies, and then let Michael go, who's gonna basically refute that?
Yeah, and they were supposedly gonna let Jack go too.
Yeah, Jack and Juliet, it's like, what's the deal with that? This is way more crazy than I originally thought.
Yeah.
Because if you find Jack and then if they find Jack and Jack tells them what happened, then they're going to be like, well.
Which I think Jack would. I'm not so sure about Michael. But I think Jack would say, I was on this plane and they crashed on the island.
Nevertheless, with Michael, if he goes back and tries to take over his original life, his Social Security number should be deactivated, his bank accounts are gone, everything his old life is tied to the fact that he's dead.
Definitely.
So, and Walt, too. Trying to get Walt into school or something, he's going to have to get, fake Social Security numbers and all this. It's going to be a hassle if he tries to pretend that they're dead.
I can't wait for that episode.
And he really shouldn't even know at first that they're dead. So he's going to be like, hey, our plane went down and blah, blah, blah. And, if I was Michael, I would give them as much information as possible. And then maybe try to go undercover because I killed 2 people.
Right.
That
whole thing. I don't think you're telling one because of what you did.
Oh, God.
And, it's a good point that if he tries to reassume his life, somehow people are going to notice.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be kind of rough to just, sneak in if he's dead.
Yeah. How is he even going to get back to the States? He's going to take that boat and it's going to go to maybe some island somewhere. He's going to have to take a plane back to the United States or something, and he's going to need money. He's going to need a passport. He's going to need, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, God. Just one big hassle.
That's one big hassle. This is why I don't get stranded on islands. Because coming back is just such a big deal.
I really don't want to see that episode now. It sounds really boring and mundane.
All the bureaucracy, if he's like, I'm not dead, I'm serious, I'm me. And, sir, you don't have any proof that you're Michael. And, it's weird.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's one of those things that, when they introduce these new things, then it's like, well, there's old shit you gotta answer for.
Yeah.
And throwing that in there, it's like, fuck. Well,
we should go ask Greg Nations that question. What's gonna happen when Michael gets rescued and they, considering that everybody thinks he's dead.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that's the thing too. Walt, Walt's a kid. If they question him, he's not gonna be able to lie too well.
No.
About what happened. So.
No, he really won't. He can try, but he's just Walt.
And that it's such a waste too, because he had all the powers and stuff, and
oh man,
he had the weird that was such a dead end waste. Man.
Yeah.
That's really sucky.
They really built him up in season 2 with him appearing everywhere and and realizing slowly realizing through season 1 that he had some kind of special abilities, and then having the surprise being him being taken, then having him appear randomly in these weird ways, the kind of shit that really hasn't happened this season.
No.
Unless you count Locke's bullshit vision thing. But, and then all that to come to and then they leave.
And then he leaves.
And, like, that's it. It just, yeah, it seems to me that they had more plans for him, but, you know, for whatever reason, they couldn't do them. Maybe he got too old or whatever. They didn't have time to do what they wanted to do, and they just kind of brushed him off.
It's really bad. But
yeah.
just like Smokey, like never appearing again or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like this big thing they're building up and then gone. Like, can you imagine like if Walt was around now and like he had these powers and maybe he's stronger now or could do stuff and like who knows what would be going on if Walt was around?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I wish they had more foresight when they were doing that stuff originally.
Yeah, and it seems like, you know, and it'd be one thing if Walt had his powers because he was on the island, but he seemed to have them before.
Yeah, they made
and it's like, that's even crazier. That
they
he
made
had
a point
powers.
of that.
Yeah, he had the powers before he even got on the island, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, I know. I'm going to call it, again, throwaway line.
Throwaway line?
Yep.
But what could they possibly say in a throwaway line about Walt?
Well, he wasn't so special after all.
We were mistaken. All of those things are just weird coincidences.
You thought what? No, you didn't.
Yikes. Please don't ever do that, writers. Please.
Yeah. I know. Oh, God. It's a sad thing. I guess we just have to live with what's still around.
Yeah, we do, don't we? I'm looking at you, Kate.
Oh, no.
So, speaking of Kate,
indeed.
Are you ready to go to that little scene?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about the scene?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
What do you think that they should tell her?
Ah, that thing, right. I have no idea.
Come on, you have to have some idea. I have two ideas.
Yeah, my first idea that I don't want to believe is that she's pregnant.
Oh, well, that was one of mine.
I find that problematic because, really? She's pregnant, Juliet. Interesting. Why do you know or care about that?
Yeah. I think it's going to be more review. I think it's two things. I think it's either tell Julie. I mean, like he's like, hey, Juliet's like, hey, I think we should tell her that Ben sent me here to do this, to do X, Y, and Z, and that potentially, you know, he's gonna come to kidnap the women who are pregnant.
Yeah, that's my theory number two. Jack's in the fold, and he, you know, she let him in. You know, and because she couldn't tell anybody else, but she'll tell Jack, look, all right, I'm supposed to be a mole, but I don't really want to be a mole, and I hate Ben, and blah, 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 you know, help me out.
Yeah. Either that or
I like that one. I mean, I believe it, sort of.
I think that or even, my next theory is more pertinent to the conversation, is that, you know, there's a signal ever since the incident. No communication on the island has been possible, basically. And I think that could be the other thing.
Now, Kate ought to know that already, because that's what Mikhail said when she was there.
She wasn't listening.
What?
She wasn't listening.
Oh, she wasn't listening. Of course. Okay.
I think she was braiding her hair.
Oh, you women. You never pay attention when important things are being said.
Braiding your hair. I didn't say that, Justin. You're so sexist. Wow. You took my little thing about one specific character and generalized it to all of womankind.
Kate is woman.
Kate is woman. She's the archetype for all women.
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy that.
Good. Wow. That was easy.
That was easy, right?
Oh, God. Yeah.
No. The only reason I think that is because Jack was so adamant about how she's going to contact her people.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, she's got this thing. And then that's when Juliet was like, we should tell her, you know, that basically, you know, I feel like it has to relate to how the woman is going to contact her crew. Unless there's some other thing we don't know about the signal, you know.
Why would Jack want her to not say that?
Because he wants to give her hope.
Oh God. Oh God. If I had told you then, you wouldn't have had hope, and
you wouldn't have hope, and right now, Kate, we all need a little hope.
Oh God.
I knew you needed more than anything was hope.
Oh God. Oh God.
It's never stupid to have hope.
If I had told you, you never would have come.
Exactly.
Come here.
What if I didn't tell you?
Oh God. Yeah, that's
what
what bothers me about that. There doesn't seem to be any compelling reason not to say that, and she's already heard it anyway. I mean,
yeah, but what else could it be? It should be something to do with the communication.
I like the idea that maybe Juliet has told Jack what's going on, and that's the thing. Because I can see him wanting to keep that from her.
Yes, and maybe it's not specifically communication, but the time frame. Like, we should tell her that, Ben's going to be coming for women in a couple days, because now, if we're going to get off the island, we need to do it soon or something.
Yeah, maybe so. Something along those lines.
Juliet didn't really seem surprised that Naomi was on the island. She was just kind of like, huh, really? Interesting. Like, she didn't really seem like, what? Really? Where? Who? Like,
yeah.
She didn't seem to really care, which is really strange. And it's like, and this is her way to get off the island. So I think that's a little weird that she didn't really seem to care.
That is kind of weird. She should have cared more.
She definitely should have cared more. Elizabeth Mitchell, I blame you. Even if the writers didn't write it in, it's your ability to one-quarter pucker that.
The wagging finger of shame is pointed in your direction.
Exactly. You're doing the wagging finger? I'm doing the two fingers rubbing against each other. So,
oh, okay. That's a good one.
Whatever that, I don't know what that's called. The sort of shame on you, tisk, tisk.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that's called
either. The two index fingers rubbing together. That sounds really sexual.
Sharpening the knife, or, yeah, it does. Yikes.
Let's rub our index fingers together. Yikes. Depends on what you mean by rub and finger. Okay. So I think I'm done. I don't think I have any more things to talk about, so it's all on you, mister.
You ain't got nothing else, huh? Okay. Well, I got a few more things. I wanted to mention that Cooper, much like Dave in the famous Hurley episode from last season.
Which episode number was that?
I was just going to say, Season 2, Episode 18.
Oh, great. Now I know which one you're talking about.
Right. We all remember that one. Basically, to me, that's the episode that, like, excited people the most, that, like, came to the least. I don't know. It really, like, got a lot of chatter, but...
The biggest letdown?
Yeah, like, people came up with all kinds of shit based on the episode, and it just never really mattered very much.
Yeah.
But anyway, the interesting thing about that episode that we noted when we did our Season 2 retrospective is that Dave is one of the first people in the show itself to come up with sort of a grand unifying theory of Lost, and Anthony Cooper sort of does that too.
Yeah.
It's hell. His is just as bad as Dave's.
Yeah, it's just as bad. It was the two sort of big ones too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all somebody's imagination, or it's purgatory or hell or something.
Yeah, purgatory, hell, basically the same kind of thing.
Yeah. I thought it was weird when I did like his line when Sawyer's like, what are you talking about? What do you think we are? And he's like, I was a little too hot for heaven. I like that line, but I'm thinking, yeah, it's a little too beautiful for hell, though. It's like a tropical island. It's Hawaii, basically. I mean, it's a little too beautiful for hell, I think. I
agree. It's wildly implausible that that's supposed to be hell.
Yeah.
And the idea that every person on that plane went to hell, like, I don't know, that's just completely ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
That, like, everyone deserved to go to hell. Like, come on.
A plane full of sinners.
Yeah, like, whatever. I don't buy that. But Oh man, I think
Plus, kids don't go to hell.
Oh, right.
Unless they don't listen to their daddies.
Right.
Kidding.
There's always a catch.
There's always a catch. Unless you don't eat your vegetables. My mommy always said.
Because you say kids don't go to hell, and then the kid's like, but I can't go to hell. You're like, well, actually, there is a catch to the rule.
Yes, there is. There's always an exception to the rule.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't do what I want you to do, then you'll go to hell. How about that?
How about that? How about that for childhood trauma?
Sit on that, boy. So, anyway, I just thought it was interesting to have a character sort of present a grand unifying theory again.
Yeah.
Kind of similarly, being a character from somebody's past, and it's just kind of odd.
An antagonistic character.
Yeah.
And a character who always thinks they know the best and know right and know everything too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's sort of fitting that that's the kind of character who comes up with the theory, because that's the kind of person that they are.
Right.
Yeah, it was weird that he thought he was in hell. That hell would be that normal, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's weird stuff going on, but there's a lot of normalcy there.
Yeah, I agree.
There was definitely more of a hell for him specifically because he's tied up the whole time.
Yeah. Everybody else didn't seem to be suffering quite as much.
Yeah.
For a real hell. And even him, he's just tied up. Doesn't seem too bad for hell. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Another thing I wanted to point out. This is another in my cliche line series. This is a line.
Oh, your CLT.
What?
Your CLT.
It was series, CLS.
Oh, I think it's a theory.
No, there isn't a theory. It's a series of cliche lines.
CLS.
Yeah. They sound the same on the phone. This is a line that I've heard. I know I've heard many times. I don't have any examples for you, of course, but I've heard this many times. Basically, it's hard to set up because it's not like the line itself is cliche. It has a fill in the blank kind of style.
Okay.
But basically, the setup is the person. There's two people involved, usually, and one person refers to a person that this other character regards, very personally. They have some kind of personal relationship to them. And the one person refers to them very, casually, oh, that woman, or,
yeah.
Oh, that waitress, or, whatever. Just some kind of really general, brushing off kind of way of referring to them. And then the response is, blank, her name was blank.
Yeah.
You have to, his name was blank. You have to, you better say their name because you're making it too impersonal, by just sort of saying, oh, that woman or whatever, And it's just having them say name. Her name was name.
Yeah.
I've heard that many times, and it just, enough with that, guys. Please.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a thing. It's, it works though,
I get the point of it, but find a new way to do it.
Yeah.
Doing exactly that, blank, her name was blank. Come on. At least say it differently or something.
I think the blank, her name was blank in of itself is a thing. That's really where it falls apart for me. Is that sort of delivery of that line. Because that's what they do is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Specifically, just that delivery?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll buy the whole, wanting someone to know the name of somebody you care about or something. That doesn't bother me. That's why I don't mind. But
No. I was just trying to set up, what the point is. But, the cliche is the line itself.
Yeah, Mary. Her name was Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as he said Mary, I'm like, here it comes. Her name was Mary.
Yeah.
I hear it. Oh, there it is. And of course, this episode did feature another, why are you telling me this? So,
oh God.
That's another one that belongs in a special place in my series, because in this show it comes up a lot.
Yeah.
Why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this? Ugh. Anyway. Okay. The another thing I want to bring up, which we already talked about, is Cooper doing the strange Southern accent. I don't really know what to do with that, and I guess we already talked about that. But
Yeah.
But it just seemed I still don't know how to take that, whether it's real or something he's doing, or I don't know. But I think he made it like, I mean, he was just completely unremorseful. He made it really easy to kill him, I think. And you know, when
he was awesome. He was like, when he started reading it, "Dear Mr. Sawyer, blah, blah, blah. I love that." And then he's like, Sawyer was like, "Finish it." And he's like, okay, rip. That was awesome. I'm like, man, you're just evil, aren't you? You're just, like, he's like, okay, I'll read it, fine. Rip.
Yeah.
That was great, because it was a great reason for Sawyer to kill him, because he's just, not only for the obvious reasons, but just like,
yeah.
So like, oh, I'll do what you asked me to do. No, I won't.
I mean, like, Sawyer has this, like, deep-seated anger towards him, but like doing that, like, arouses, like, immediate emotions.
Yeah.
Like, he hits him just the right way, like ripping that, like, letter that's the most important thing to him.
The fact that he actually had the letter with him, I thought was a little. I'm like, really, Sawyer? You sleep with that letter in your back pocket? Like, I don't know if I buy that, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's kind of weird, but maybe we're supposed to believe he just always has it in his bed, just in case.
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
When the real Sawyer is going to pop up on the island. Like, that was, I don't really want to buy that he would have that, but it works, it works.
Like, I knew, like, we talked about the fact that this character can't stay around, so... they probably have to do something to get rid of him. So, I didn't really see Sawyer killing him. Like, I guess I envisioned him being more apologetic and just sort of like, "Oh, I'm sorry. What did I do? Oh, I
thought we said that Sawyer might kill him.
We did.
Oh, okay. But
I'm saying I wasn't really convinced of that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I thought like he had to die somehow, but I couldn't envision Sawyer just walking in and killing him.
Yeah, I didn't see how that was going to happen either. How he was actually going to get to him, but
yeah, but I think they did a good job of like convincingly setting up a situation where he would kill him, and I like that part of it. I thought that was.
I don't like that Locke made sort of Sawyer do his dirty work.
Yeah,
like it's like he's cheating. Like the test is. Kill your father to get over your issues, not like, it's not the point that your father's dead, it's that you kill him.
Right.
And it's like, it just feels very like, I mean, obviously it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Starts with a C, not controlling, well, it's controlling, but I forgot what the word I'm looking for is. But it's very, trying to say it again. I still don't know what it is.
If you start saying, I feel
like if I start the sentence, it'll come.
It'll just pop into your mind.
What do you call it when someone like what Ben does when he cons people and
manipulative?
Yeah, what's the C word though?
Wow.
Not contrived, but not condescending.
Conspiratorial?
No, maybe manipulative is the best. Anyway, he's being very manipulative and to get Sawyer in that situation to kill his father.
Oh yeah.
And it's very just like, I don't know, reprehensible. How the whole thing went down, and that like, oh, now that my dad's dead and they got this other guy to kill him for me, now I'm just going to go take credit for this. Like, that's just, it's like God Locke. Like, I don't think I'll ever like Locke again. I think he's done.
He's done, huh?
He's done. I don't see. I mean, I think the best Locke can ever do for me personally is, like, he could be cool, like, if he, like, taps into the island's powers or something, like, if they do something like that. If he becomes this uber special person, like, maybe he'll be cool. But I don't think I'll like him again, like his character. He's done too many, like, devious things for me to ever really like him again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's a weird situation because I still think in some ways he's responsible for his dad dying, but but it's really a cheat, you know. He's really cheating. But the thing is, I think they, you know, they have this guy, he's the real Sawyer, and, like, you know, we can deal with the real Sawyer thing and get him to die, you know.
Yeah.
All in one.
It's nice how it worked out, and I do think that for Sawyer's character, it was great that he was able to find him and sort of, you know, had the opportunity to kill him. I think I would have more liked if he didn't actually kill him. But he had the opportunity to kill him. I think it would have showed some growth in his character. But like you said, you know, I think part of the reason he killed him was just sort of the immediacy of the emotions.
Yeah.
Before the letter and stuff. But still, I think I would have liked it a little bit better if he didn't actually kill him and maybe Locke had to do it or something. Or
yeah. That's kind of what I thought. Like, I guess I saw Sawyer being like, having like dealt with it enough to get to the point where he can actually be confronted with the guy and not kill him.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to think he was at that point. So I agree, but
yeah, and maybe he was at that point, but you know, Cooper was just so vile.
Oh man,
like,
what an ass!
You know, it was. I mean, I would have killed him even if he didn't do that to me. So.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he really was just completely. Wow.
Yeah, he was like insane almost.
Yeah.
Like what he was saying and how he was talking, I felt like he was like losing his mind.
Yeah.
You know, he's in this like southern accent and saying all this crazy stuff and we're in hell, you know. And,
right.
Like I'm like, man, you're like lost it, dude.
Yeah, he was really crazy. I don't know. Yeah. Con man got a lot of names, son.
Con man goes by a lot of names, son. What was that line about Huck Finn already been taken? Is that some like pop culture reference or like? I feel like maybe there was like a band or something named Huck Finn or I don't know. I didn't really know how to take that line.
Well, they're both Mark Twain characters.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he chose Tom Sawyer, which should have been taken if Huck Finn is taken for that reason. You know, so I didn't know what he meant about that was already taken. He kind of laughed when he said it, like we kind of should know what he means.
I think that's supposed to be a joke.
I mean, what's the joke?
The joke is like Tom Sawyer. Like you hear me say that name, and you might think, oh, that's just my name. But you might also think of the character, and then I say Huck Finn was already taken, and then you say, oh, ha, 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 because I realized that your name came from that, and that's, I don't think it's a very funny joke.
Yeah, I'm listening to you explain it, and I'm like, where's the joke at?
But I think it's supposed to play on your being aware that his name comes from that, but like thinking that it might not, and maybe like thinking that he doesn't want you to refer to it or something. Like if you met someone with a really like recognizable name, you know, hey, Isaac Newton, you know, like it would occur to you like maybe he's really irritated by like hearing that, and you would have these thoughts about like how does he feel about this name or whatever, and like I think the joke's a way to sort of settle that tension.
I mean, I still don't get it. I mean the fact that he says the name was taken is what gets me. Like I just don't know what he means by that. Like, and I know he's not really being he's being literal that somebody took the name, but just the way he phrased it. I mean, the only thing I can think he's really doing is saying the name comes from the character Tom Sawyer, and not that was like his real name at all. And so that, you know, he references Huck Finn, so we know that. But I don't know. I like I said, I also thought, I don't know, you know, he said I was young and Huck Finn was taken, and, you know, when he said I was young, I was thinking, you know, this was in what, I don't know, the 70s or something, I don't know, 60s, I don't know, and so maybe there was, Huck Finn was like a thing or an actor or somebody named, you know, who was famous named Huck Finn or a band or something, and so that's what he meant by that line. Like when I was young and coming up with a moniker, Huck Finn was already taken, so I took Tom Sawyer. That's what I was thinking, but maybe it's just a weird joke.
Yeah, I didn't take it literally, and I think the humor is supposed to be in there, in the fact that, like, no one took the name Huck Finn. Like, I think that's part of the humor. You know, that it's one of those, like, it's one of those jokes that, like, is really hard to explain because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's a rational explanation for it. I think it's I wish I could think of another joke like that, but it's this kind of thing that its nonsensicalness is part of its humor.
Okay, well, it's definitely nonsensical.
So,
oh, you know, I wonder if I haven't read the book, but I wonder if that's a line from the book. Maybe.
Maybe.
Let me do a Google thing.
But I think I've even heard that joke before with different names. Like, your name's blah, blah, blah. Oh, blah, blah, blah was already taken. You know, like something associated to it. Like, I think I've heard that before with different names.
Yeah, but usually the name had already been taken.
No, never. Not in the context I'm thinking of. It's just
like,
it's a humorous thing to say. Like, they don't mean that literally. Like, it's supposed to be funny. Like, I think the idea that was already taken is supposed to be funny.
I think I know you. I sort of know what you mean about the, like, yeah, but that was already taken. Okay, maybe it's that kind of joke. Okay, I'll buy it in that sense. I'll buy it if it's a joke because, like, it's a reference to the sort of, you know, it's not like a new joke they're trying to write, but it's like a whatever joke, a well-known kind of joke.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I'll buy that. $1.
Take my wife, please.
All right, what else is on your list? Now that we've got that settled.
Wow, okay. I think that is it for me, but I know I've got more in my head, but maybe I don't. Blah, 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 lock, blah, 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 yeah. Oh, that, yeah. So then, yeah, Locke tells Sawyer about Juliet being a mole, and we already talked about that. But I did want to say that. The other thing I wanted to say was the final line of this episode. Is it true? This is Sawyer. Locke says, "Is what true?" Sawyer says that he threw you out a window, that you were a cripple, and Locke says, "Not anymore."
Yeah.
Like, what?
It seems like he's saying it was true that he threw me out a window, but somehow that's not true anymore.
It's
never
no
happened.
longer true.
But he's saying I'm not a cripple anymore.
Yeah, but like clearly, I mean, he said that you were a cripple. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, not anymore. I already said that.
Yeah, but he says that you were a cripple, and he says, yeah, but I'm not anymore. That's his point.
Is that the implied part? It's like yes, but not anymore, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. It made it seem like he was saying it's no longer true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's what he's really saying. Had to bring it up.
Okay.
So that's it for me.
All right.
You got anything else?
I don't think so. Any other scenes? It was nice to see Saeed.
Yeah.
I wonder what hole he was digging when Hurley came. I don't know what he was doing, but he was sort of seeming to be digging a hole, which wasn't too pressing because he left it and didn't ever go back.
Yeah, Saeed, whatever. He just... I remember the other time Hurley came up to him after Shannon died, and he was just breaking open some kind of, I don't know what it was, like mangoes or something.
Yeah.
He's just really crazy. Go ahead.
It was just really weird when he's digging. He's not really near the camp. You couldn't really see the camp where they were, and he's digging this hole, and Hurley comes up to him, "Hey, Saeed," and Saeed's like, "Hey, Hurley," and he just keeps digging. Like Hurley didn't specifically come to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously Saeed, if he's he's not just passing through.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I thought that was a little odd. But yeah, I'm just reaching now.
I agree.
What else in this app?
I wanted to say about the shovel. Somebody asked Greg Nations on the fuselage about the fact that in previous seasons when they dug holes, they used this bamboo thing, this pole with a little thing on the end of it that sort of made kind of a shovel shape, a sort of makeshift shovel that they kind of just made shift.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this season they have these nice shiny new shovels. That they've used. They used to bury Nikki and Paulo, and now Saeed uses a shovel in this episode. And so someone asked Greg Nations where they came from, and his answer was something like, "Oh, the same place, the endless supply of blue tarps, and basically whatever."
Exactly. Don't worry about it. The same place the torches come from.
Yeah, the torches. Oh God.
You know what's weird? That scene when we see when Ben is in his tent, he's got a bookcase and a desk and books. Whose job is it to carry around his furniture and all his heavy books? Whose job is that?
I laugh because that didn't strike me as odd until you pointed it out.
I'm going through the episode right now, just looking at different scenes, and I didn't notice it either. Now I'm looking at it. He's got a ton of books, and there's all kinds of they've got a lot of stuff, dude.
He's not carrying that shit.
And that's the thing, when at the end when he's walking away, who's carrying his wheelchair? Did he leave the wheelchair behind? What's going on with that? They made his little tent look very comfortable and lived in, but there's a lot of furniture and books.
Yeah.
And stuff. I'm just man, whose job is it to carry? He's got a dresser too, that he puts the microphone in, the recorder in, and who's strapping that dresser to their back just so Ben has a place to put his recorder.
A dresser is a really bad thing to bring on a camping trip.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to bring a dresser. Yeah, it was really weird. It seemed like they were going to be there for a while.
Wow.
But I don't know.
Crazy.
Maybe the dresser's made of I don't know. Maybe it's
hollow. Here we go.
I don't know. Maybe Smokey brings it, or
Gore.
He's strapping on to Smokey and riding to the next location. Hi ho, Smokey away!
Oh dear. Yeah, that's the end of Lost right there.
That is bad. If Ben ever hops on top of Smokey and yeah, that's pretty bad.
Giddy up, boy.
Giddy up, boy.
Oh God. And Smokey whinnies. Yeah, it's over.
Oh man, yeah, that is over.
Awful.
You know what was also weird? A little small thing when Hurley was getting the food for Naomi. He opens the jar of jam or something and smells it, and it smells foul, but he takes it anyway.
Oh really?
Did you notice that?
No. Is it Hurley or Charlie?
I'm sorry, Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, he's opening. Yeah, he's like getting stuff. I really just think it's an actor thing. He's just like being in the moment and trying to be realistic. But like, it's weird that he would smell it and it would, make him take a step back, and he just puts the top on and puts it on the thing anyway.
Oh God! All right, like, let's take it to her.
This is obviously rotten. Ugh, let's feed her this.
Yeah, it's weird. I didn't notice that at all.
Oh, two things about Jack. The first, I thought it was kind of sad when he brings up, like, the whole camping thing and he wasn't invited. It's like, next time, sign me up. He's like, yeah, next time. I'm like, there won't be a next time.
I know.
It was weird when he was like, oh, so you guys went camping, huh? Yeah. What are you guys doing out there? I'm like, they're camping. Well, it was a weird question, but then he's like, oh, whatever. And what did he say, male bonding? Yeah, right. Nobody ever says that. Nobody ever is like, yeah, we're male bonding. Like, no, nobody ever says that. I've never used that phrase when I wasn't joking about something.
I've only seen that in, like, movie reviews.
Yeah, right.
Of, like, male bonding movies. But yeah, I've never referred to anything I've done as male bonding. Yeah,
it's really weird. And the other thing about Jack was, I thought it was kind of crazy. I was on Kate's side when she thought it was weird that he didn't seem to care that his friends didn't trust him anymore. And I guess it's because he's like, well, they're not trusting me because it's sort of my fault they're not trusting me because I know something they don't know yet.
Right.
Not that I'm being normal and they don't trust me, which I guess would be more crazy. But he's like, well, I'm being specifically, clandestine about whatever's going on.
Right.
So no wonder they don't trust me, I guess.
Yeah. And like if he had just been there all along and all of a sudden everybody doesn't trust him, then it'd be like, what the fuck? But yeah.
I also love when Kate was like, oh, I need to talk to you alone. And he's like, you can say whatever. That's another line they need to rewrite.
Oh,
like, yeah. Whatever you want to say to me, you can say in front of him.
Good one. Good one. They need
to find a way to do that line.
Totally worthy of inclusion.
Yeah. And but I was like, okay, Jack's fine. I've got this yeast infection. I need you to take a look at it. Something really crazy and personal.
Yeah. That would have been good. That would have been really good. I've got this polyp, and I'd like to show it to you.
Yeah, and, I was doing a breast exam earlier, and I felt a lump. I don't know.
Oh, God, yeah, that's a good one. Wow.
Sawyer can't seem to get an erection when we, no.
Oh.
That's the HBO
and
version.
We tried everything.
We tried everything. I even stood on my head. Whatever that means.
I don't know. That's not one of the solutions I was thinking of.
Well, you should try it sometime.
I guess so. Oh, man. Yeah, since Jack's a doctor, she really could have a lot of personal shit to talk to him about.
Yeah.
But no, whatever you want to say, you can say in front of her. Okay.
I guess Juliet's a doctor, too, kind of. So
more of a researcher.
More a researcher. I really love when she said that. That was great. I'm really more of a researcher because it kind of like put her in her place in terms of what she should be able to do and not do. And
yeah.
So it was nice.
Yeah, it was. It was. And that's kind of what I thought of her, so, it's always nice to hear what you think being confirmed.
It is, right?
So, I like that line, too.
The other thing is, it's interesting that I'm coming up with all this stuff to talk about.
Yeah, you really are.
Don't
ever say we don't pull shit out of our ass.
I know, right? Well, see, that's the thing. These weren't really questions so much as just stuff to talk about.
Comments,
Locke gives Sawyer the recorder, and I wonder if we'll hear anything else on there that may be interesting. I don't know what else she could have said. I mean, obviously it's her, and she presumably is really not trying to harm them, so it may not be anything like too incriminating. But we haven't heard the whole thing, so.
Well, we heard her whole recording of it.
Well, we heard her whole recording, but how long has she been making recordings?
I assumed that was the first and only one, but.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It could have been, I guess. I feel like maybe every day or every time she gets some new information, she does that. But I don't know. It could have been the first one. How about this? If we never hear anything else in the recorder, we'll just believe that was the first one.
Yeah, and especially if they play it and that's all that's there.
And especially, like, why couldn't you just write a note? Why a recorder?
There's no reason why she couldn't just write a note.
Here's the reason. So that when they hear her voice...
I was just going to say it.
Yeah.
It's totally incriminating.
It's totally incriminating, yeah.
A note wouldn't be, and that's why she should have used a note. But
Exactly.
But, you know, she's working with the former Henry Gale, so he's not the best planner when it comes to doing things the way you won't get caught.
Exactly. Yeah, they could have come up with some sort of code, even like a written code or something, and like anything, like, you know.
Yep, they totally did it so she could be exposed.
Yeah.
That was it. That's all. There's no good reason for her to fucking leave a tape. Like, now that I heard Juliet say it, I really believe it now.
Do you think that they're going to expose Juliet before Juliet exposes herself? Yeah. What a weird sentence that was. Sorry. I didn't mean it that way.
I don't know.
Let me rephrase that. Do you think
what show are you watching?
I know, right? Something late night on Cinemax, apparently. Something with Shannon Tweed. Wrong blonde.
Oof.
Yikes. Okay, what I meant to say was, do you think that Sawyer's going to come back with the recorder and have the incriminating evidence before Juliet and or Jack tells the gang what's going on?
I knew what you meant, of course. I just had to laugh at the phrasing. Wait, how did you phrase it? You think will Sawyer be first?
Who do you think it's going to be? I mean, I sort of think it's going to be like Sawyer's going to come and be like, hey, she's the mole, and they're going to be like, oh no, she's the mole, and then Jackson will be like, yeah, I knew she was the mole. We were just about to tell you.
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
I agree. I think something like that. I think he will reveal first.
Yeah. You think he will reveal first or she?
Sawyer.
But you know, I kind of think that makes it sort of anticlimactic, and I feel like they might need to maybe if more than just Jack knows, then it would be a little bit more plausible.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Jack's like, oh yeah, I already knew and I was going to tell you guys, see, nobody trusts him.
Yeah, that's not going to look good.
But if maybe Kate knows, or maybe Jack told Saeed to, or is going to tell Saeed, so that other people can say, yeah, no, Jack told us that she is, you know, a mole, but she's a double agent, basically.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I was just curious. Sort of a time thing, because I'm sure when Sawyer gets back there, he's going to, you know, what he's going to do.
Oh, yeah. I see it being like, I guess my guess would be something like, she's a mole, and here's the proof, and everybody's like, what? And Jack's like, well, we're going to tell you, and I already know, and it's fine, and I wouldn't have kept a secret if I didn't have a plan.
Yeah, why did you lie to us, Jack? Why didn't I lie to you? Wait, what?
Live together, die alone. Hello?
Exactly. He's going to throw out all his catchphrases. Let's go move to the beach, guys. Let's go move to the cave. What, Jack?
What else do I have?
We got to save Boone. Let me cut off his leg. Jack, what are you talking about? I think it's not my father.
Oh shit, my dead dad. He's walking around.
Oh no. Where's Anna Lucia? We need to start an army. Who's with me? Let's go play some golf. Oh, that'd be awesome. He just starts rattling off like random things he was part of.
Oh God, yeah, that would be.
Where's
really
Kate?
awesome.
We need to go get caught in the net.
Of course. Oh God. Yeah, that's
That's the lost parody we'll never see.
I know. If only.
If only, yeah.
Yeah, I think if Jack went crazy, maybe it would be something like that.
How come shows don't do parodies of themselves?
I don't know. They're no fun.
It'd be really fun to see the actors and like the show put on like a whole hour like parody episode. Like that'd be fun, and I think it would draw attention to the show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That'd be cool. If I'm ever a showrunner, I will definitely do a parody episode of my own show.
That's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because as the showrunner, you can appreciate the things that you need to parody.
Yeah.
Sometimes those parodies, in particular, all the Lost parodies I've seen, don't really seem to get, the show in general and what's funny about it.
Yeah, they seem to they sort of trivialize the general things that don't really matter, that are kind of obvious, but not like the really small things that make it funny to parody,
Yeah.
Like it'd be funny if on the parody, like they, Jack has like a bag of stuff and like he's just pulling out random stuff, Oh, here's some torches and here's here's a TV dinner and here's a microwave and like, And then
look, a kite.
Every 5 minutes, Kate is like, "Thank God for kite smugglers." Every 5 minutes, she's like, "Thank God for."
Oh God, was that Kate who said that originally?
Yeah. What did she say? No, wait. No, first it was who brings the pregnancy test on an airplane.
It was there was that.
And then what was the smuggler saying?
No, it was fireworks smugglers. That was the original thing.
Fireworks
season
smugglers?
1. Yeah, when they were sending the signals to each other about when they were trying to like.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was the laugh, right? Thank God for fireworks smugglers.
No. The laugh was the pregnancy test.
Oh, the laugh was the pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Who brings the pregnancy test? The airplane.
Yep, that's it.
That was, she didn't even buy that herself.
No, she didn't.
She didn't buy that.
She didn't. She was losing it back then.
Yeah.
There was a point there where I'm like, man, you don't even like believe your character anymore.
She didn't know how to play some of those lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she's been a lot better this season, I think. That stuff was really bad.
Yeah, it was bad. Everybody has their crap they have to go through.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do.
Well, I think we're done, buddy.
Well, before we go, I want to talk a little bit about some Meta Lost news. I think we should at least address this thing that's a big news story that they've announced that Lost will go for 3 more seasons of 16 episodes apiece, probably running straight through like February to May, something like that. So we have like definitive plans for the future and like a specific kind of endpoint, 2010. And a lot of people are not happy, and some people are happy, and who knows whatever is going on. But
yeah,
I just wanted to address it and say, like, in general, like, I'm optimistic about the whole thing. I think it has potential to be good for the show, and so I'm gonna hope that it is.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I am really happy that they have an end date. I think specifically for us, it's nice for podcasters out there to know, how much time you're going to invest if you want to podcast for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
And you kind of know that, okay, then, February to May, I'm going to be busy for the next 3 years.
Right. And if that's 48 episodes, then, barring the extra shit we do, I guess that means we get to about, podcast 79?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So that's
right, yeah.
Doesn't even seem that bad.
It doesn't seem that bad. I mean, we're almost halfway done, man. And I think it's going to be interesting too. I mean, I can't think of any drama shows that have seasons that short that aren't on like cable.
Yeah.
So obviously that model kind of works. The HBO Showtime model, whatever, the sort of short seasons, that works. I would much rather have those episodes back to back than spread over 9 months or something like that. So I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, and I think, you know, like you and I talked about off podcast, you know, we've already had to wait. We've had experience waiting for Lost to come on with this hiatus before.
Right.
These 18 episodes. So, you know, it is going to suck to have to wait, you know, however many months so the show comes back on every year. But, you know, we'll just be doing other stuff and be busy, and when it comes back on, we'll be happy. So
yeah,
that's really the only drawback. You know, there'll be hopefully less filler episodes. They can cram all the good stuff into those 16 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's great. I think it's great.
Yeah, I do. I think there's a good chance. You know, we'll get one more season finale that way, and you know,
an extra season finale.
I think that's good. Like, not a lot of people seem to be bringing that up, but they really specifically make those season finales like have a lot of shit in them.
Yeah,
so,
season finales are great, and yeah, and I think that, you know, that's what we said before, is we wouldn't expect Lost to go more than 5 seasons, and
yeah,
with 16 episodes per the 3 seasons, that's 2 regular seasons.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty much like the kind of thing I would have. And also, I think it's good in terms of the writers planning the show, because they know exactly how long they have to reveal what they have to reveal, and so they can actually like roll it out in a reasonable way and not just like, you know, oh shit, this is the last season, just blah, or like,
they can arc out the rest of the series, and season 4 we'll say this, and season 5 we'll do this, and season 6 we'll do this.
Right.
Yeah,
and then like the other like version of that is like they just want the show on forever, and it's like, man, what are we gonna do? We just have to string them along with bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, we have to go to 7 and 8 seasons, and oh god, who cares anymore? So in general, I think it's a good thing. I've been surprised. A lot of people seem to be really upset about this, and I don't know. I don't really see why it's such a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, yeah, anyway, I thought it's big news, really. Big news for the show. I haven't followed that many TV shows when they've been on. I usually seem to catch them years after they're off the air. So, you know, I've never had the experience of having a show where I know it's going to end in 3 seasons. You know, that's...
Yeah, it's... I can't recall any show that has known 3 seasons in advance that it's going to be off.
Yeah.
Usually a lot of the shows are like, yeah, maybe next season's our last season, we'll see, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to get that definitive answer.
Yeah, it is. It's unique. It makes it. I don't know. I hope it will really focus the show and just, you know, make it stronger. And I mean, you know, I think, like, man, I don't know what they're going to do with flashbacks and stuff with that few episodes, but I don't know, whatever, we'll see.
Yeah.
How that works out. But had to bring it out.
Interesting.
Big old thing.
I was just actually on our little comment section here, and Jerry wanted to know if we could prove that we're really recording right now by referring to this post.
Oh. Well, there you go.
So hopefully I just did that, and that was at 6:07, and it's now 8:18 Pacific Standard Time.
Is that what that time is? Is that Pacific time on there?
Oh, I don't know.
Because, like, the time on there has always confused me. Like, it never corresponds to, like, anything resembling my time.
I think it's Pacific time. I think when I set it up, I put Pacific time.
Oh, okay.
I think. So I think that's what that is. And I'm just reading here how people listen to the Lost Lowdown. Another Jerry idea. Thank you, Jerry, for giving people something to do while they wait for us to finish the podcast.
Yes.
It's interesting. A lot of iPod listeners out there.
Very good, very good. It is a
Who
podcast.
burns on a CD. Interesting.
A curious thing, but
yeah.
Why not?
I know people who burn podcasts on CDs. It's a thing.
Really?
They listen. Yeah. Well, like if you put it, like if you listen in your car or something like that, and you have a CD player in your car, you can burn a CD and listen to it. And
okay.
It's sad you have to burn 4 CDs for a complete show.
Oh.
But CDs are pretty cheap, so.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot. Fuck.
Yeah.
I guess they are pretty big.
Yeah, they are. And I don't know how you split it up.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe you make segments. Maybe you do like a little editing yourself.
Yeah, hopefully there's a program that does that for you. I don't know.
Hopefully. Guess a lot of trouble.
Thanks. Well, thanks for taking the trouble.
Get an iPod. I recommend them. They're nice.
Get an iPod. You know, man, I loved my iPod when I bought it, and you know my problems with my iPod.
Yeah.
But besides that, like, I was really in love with it when I bought it, and now I'm just like, it's just kind of boring and very, like, just feels very utilitarian. I'm like, man, it's not that interesting anymore. So I don't know. I'm ready for the next interesting thing.
I think it's a very useful device. I think a lot of technologies that are really useful are not like mind-blowingly interesting, but
yeah.
But for me, it's been like ridiculously useful. I mean, God, it just my CD collection is like that thing now.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't mess with CDs anymore, but I mean, like. I guess my point is, you can do a lot with an iPod. You can put your pictures on there. With mine, like I have video, and you can put your pictures, and you can put audiobooks and like text stuff, and like you can do all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't do that. All I do is put my music on there. And, so I don't know.
I wouldn't do any of that stuff. I have the old generation, so mine doesn't really do anything else. But it's useful enough for me. Like, I've gotten so much use out of it that, like, it was way worth getting. And yes, we are sponsored by Apple now. I should probably tell you that. But
apparently. I love my iPod. I use it with my Apple Mac Pro.
Oh, and I will certainly be first in the line to get an iPhone. But
I can't wait to go every day. I can't wait to come home and use my iTunes with my iPod.
That's right.
On my
everything.
iMac. On my iMac. And now I can go to iGoogle, which is not an Apple product.
I know. Almost anything with an I in front of it's great, but
almost.
Yeah. Then there's those rip-off things. Yeah. So anyway, you buy a little like adapter for your car, and then you can use your iPod in your car. That's what I do, and it's really nice to have like access to so much shit at once. No like changing discs and. Yeah.
I used to carry around my whole like CD booklet with me, and that was nice too, because I'm like, oh, here's pretty much my whole music collection. I got all my CDs and whatever I want to listen to, I can just pop in my CD player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, obviously an MP3 player makes it easier, and. So anyway, it's nice.
Anyway, indeed, I don't want to harp on how much I like my iPod too much, but.
So I do want to throw out a special apology. This podcast was particularly late because I technically, well, I don't know how to phrase it. I thought I broke my phone. Saturday, I dropped it. I was having fun, Cinco de Mayo, yay! And I took my phone out of my pocket, and it dropped on the ground, and like it would turn on, but the screen wouldn't come on. I couldn't try to dial out. People would call. It wouldn't work. Like go straight to voicemail, all that junk. So for 2 or 3 days, like I thought my phone was dead. I tried to get a new one. And there's a whole backstory and hassle with that. And lo and behold, I cut my phone on one day, and just on a lark, and my screen came back on. So my phone is not dead, but it was comatose for a while or something. I really can't explain why my screen wasn't working, and now it is working. But so anyway, we had to wait for that because we can't podcast without a phone, especially since we use TalkShoe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to make it up to you guys somehow, but I don't know. Best we can do is just try to get it out as early as possible, like we usually do. It doesn't always work, but we always try. We always try to get it out, but it doesn't always work. I think if Lost came on like Saturday or Friday, it would be a lot better. But since it comes on Wednesday, it's always hard to do stuff at the end of the week because, usually that's when you're catching up and you're preparing for the weekend and, like, you're trying to finish stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to throw a podcast in there on Thursday or Friday when you're trying to finish your regular week.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, sorry, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe next week's will be earlier. We'll try.
Yeah, we'll try.
We always try. I think next week's episode might be interesting. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I've heard, I haven't really read any spoilers, but I've heard one or two things that lead me to believe it. It'll be an interesting episode. So
Gotta be. Well, I've heard whose backstory it is, so it'll be interesting just because of that.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I want to thank you guys also for giving us good ratings on our reviews in general on iTunes. We saw a couple of you guys recently going over there, and so that was nice.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Yeah, thank you for doing that. They were good. And I especially liked the ones that were longer, that like wrote like a few sentences describing what they liked about the show.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. I mean, it's great if you go on there and just say like, great podcast, but you know, I really like the ones that specifically say things. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. No, it's nice to know what's good. You know, even the ones that are bad reviews are like, they're too long, or I don't like these guys. Like, that's not helpful either.
Right.
So it's nice to know, good or bad, you know, what you like or dislike or stuff like that. So some of the recent reviews were lengthy, so it's nice to see those.
And I don't mind. I mean, if that's all you have time for or want to do, and you want to just go up there and say, good podcast, that's fine. I'm quite happy with it, believe me. But
yeah, right, Justin. Yeah, right. That's not what I hear, folks. He's like, blah, 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 just sent another crappy review. I'm like, Justin, you're so mean. He's like, I know it. Get me a beer. And then I secretly get him a Stella.
Oh, no.
Which we all know about Stella.
I can't drink that swill.
You can't drink it. Oh.
Awful fisheye beer.
Yeah, what are you going to do? So, let's end this sucker so we can post it so people can listen to it.
Sounds like a good idea. We're clearly done with the substantive portion of the podcast. It's fun to do a little rambling at the end, but
a little ramble.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks and namaste.
Namaste and good luck.